We have with us CAS Ramesh sir, who will take us through practical issues in IRAC norms. May I now request Ramesh sir to come and occupy the dais, please. CAS Ramesh graduated in economics from Vivekananda College, Chennai, qualified chartered accountant in the year 1982 and commenced practice in the early 1983. He is currently the partner of SRBR and Associates LLP. He passed the Information System Audit exam conducted by ICI and secured All India 10th rank. He was empaneled as a peer reviewer with the peer review board of ICI. He has presented papers on bank audit, accounting standards, auditing standards and assurance standards, and peer review at several CP seminars organized by SARCF ICI and its branches. Has presented papers at seminars organized by the Chamber of Commerce, had contributed articles in CA Journal and SARC newsletter as well. Contributed content to a publication of GST and Indirect Taxes Committee of ICI. Has co-authored a book on bank audit. Was a member of the Chennai 1 Financial Reporting Review Group. Was a volunteer blood donor A1 positive and had donated blood for more than 40 times in the last 12 years. A big round of applause for your social cause. So with this, I present before you CAS Ramesh sir to take us through the practical issues in IRAC norms. May now request Sriram Lakshmi Narasimhan to come forward and present a shawl, health bouquet and memento to Ramesh sir.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Salutations to all my gurus, without whose help and guidance I wouldn't be what I am today or where I am today. Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to hear. Nice to hear a resounding good afternoon. One of the toughest sessions to handle, not because of the topic, but because of the time. All of us had lunch and feel a little sleepy. And the topic by itself is not a very interesting topic like income tax or GST. But at the same time, it is a very old topic. In fact, I sometimes wonder why we have this topic in every bank audit seminar and why a bank audit seminar is conducted by every branch and SARC year on year. The subject matter is the same, nothing has changed. Previously, probably 4-5 years back when I used to talk on bank audit seminar, I would say IRAC norms is nothing but old wine in a new bottle. Today even that has changed. It's no longer old wine in new bottle, it's old wine in old bottle. No change whatsoever. But having said that, I also realize that probably most of us don't do concurrent audits, and therefore it's a 10-day assignment that we do once a year. And to that extent, our memory is bound to be a little jaded when we do an audit, when we walk into a bank and do an audit. And therefore, it's more a refresher course is what I presume. But I'm sure that the next 3 years or maximum 5 years, we won't be having the seminar at all because bank audits are on the way out. Branch audits are on the way out. If you look at the statistics of branches getting audited 21, 22, 23 and now in 24, 24, of course the figures are not available as yet, it's dropping. And it will go away. When ICICI, HDFC and banks like those won't have branch audit, I'm sure the PSUs will also not have branch audits in the long run. It will go away. So I think we need to look at other avenues of revenue generation and not depend on bank audits anymore. But as long as it goes, let's enjoy the party, let's have a honeymoon and make money in some sizable amount of money, which we don't get from our private clients, for a 10-day work. And now the question is, how far do we do a quality work in those 10 days to justify the amount paid to us? I have structured my presentation in a way that I'm going to be looking at the IRAC norms itself. I will look at the second part of my presentation, which will be a run-through or a revision, as they call it, revisionary exam. It will be a revision of the IRAC norms. But before that, I want to bring to your attention 2 points. One, an RBI circular that was issued on the 12th of November 2021 and another one on 15th of February 2022. These 2 circulars, in my opinion, are very important. Although the circulars themselves are almost 2 years old or more than 2 years old, there are certain clarifications that have been given in these 2 circulars in connection with IRAC norms. It is not as if we didn't know them. TN22DJ7320. Who is the owner of the vehicle? These two circulars clarified certain issues on IRAC norms. Maybe quite a few of us knew about these things even before, because some of them have been clearly explained in the guidance to bank audit, guidance note to bank audit issued by the ICAI. But bankers themselves are not clear. And to that extent, I think these two circulars add a lot of value to what we are going to be doing in the next 10 days. So let's look at these two circulars first, and then we'll move on to IRAC norm, more a quick refresher. We'll spend a lot more time on these two circulars and then see what a quick recap of the IRAC norms. Now, this is a circular that is issued now on the 12th of November 2021. It deals with 6 points. Let's look at what those 6 points are. One, this is not my finger. Have to go back to the beginning. Can you put the laptop here? It will be better. Will it come here?
Yes.
Open it again. Better.
Battery mattering. Let's put.
While we wait for the technical glitch to be sorted out, let's continue with what I was talking about. The circular itself dealt with 6 points. One was with reference to the specification of the due date or repayment date in the loan agreement. Second, we are talking about flagging of SMA and NPA. When does it get flagged as an SMA and NPA, which is a special mention account as a non-performing account. Third, it dealt with clarification of definition of out of order. We all know that when a CC account becomes out of order and the out of order continues for a period of 90 days, then the account will become an NPA. What exactly do you mean by the term out of order? Some clarifications are given there. NPA classification in the case of interest payments, what are those things? And then upgradation of an account classified as an NPA. An account has been classified as NPA last year and it gets upgraded this year. When can it, is the upgradation as per the IRAC norms? When can an account be upgraded? That's another very, very important clarification given by the RBI. And finally, we look at income recognition policy where there is a moratorium on payment of interest. I have on the screen extract of the terms and conditions of sanction of a term loan. I don't have the guarantee and all that. Let's assume that all those things are present. Is there something missing in this sanction letter, or is everything all right with the sanction letter? There is an amount, there is a term loan sanction date, there is an amount of thing, the tenor is given, the monthly installments are given, the number of monthly installments is given, and the interest is given. Is there something missing?
Exact date.
Exact date. What do you mean by an exact date?
Interest compounding date when the repayment starts.
Date when the repayment starts. If you looked at the term loan sanction before the date of the circular, quite a few of them had only saying 60 monthly installments commencing from January something, some date. RBI says you can no longer say that. Because the minute you have commencing from a particular month, your due date for payment of an installment can either be the first of the month or the last day of the month. Banks always said it is the last day of the month and therefore, had 29 days more before it becomes an NPA. What the RBI said in the circular is, you must have an exact date of repayment. If you all remember what happened 3-4 years back when we looked at the NPA statements, the NPA date will always be the end of a quarter or the end of the year. Never any other date. It's always 30th June, 30th September, 31st December and 31st March. It was never any other date. Although we would keep on arguing with the bank as to why is it that an account will become an NPA only at the end of a quarter? Can it not become an NPA on any day on the 365 days? After all, an account can become an NPA on any day. Why is there not an exact date of NPA? Why is it the end of a quarter? The questions we asked. for which there was no plausible explanation or satisfactory explanation given to us. Where, in those cases where we could go back and find out the exact date, we did change it. But if it was an old NPA for a long time, it's been there for a long time with the NPA statement, then obviously we didn't take the trouble of going back and looking at it. Also not wanted to disturb what our colleagues had certified in the previous year. Now the controversy is set to rest. RBI says you must have an exact date of payment. It can be the first of the month, it can be the last day of the month, but there must be an exact date of payment. Let's see what RBI says. The exact due date for repayment of a loan should be mentioned in the loan agreement. So they said, after the issuance of the circular, all term loans granted must have an exact date. And they gave time till the 31st December 2021 to comply with the circular. So all loans definitely sanctioned on the 31st of the day of December 2021 must carry an exact date of repayment, not just the month. Month is only an indicator of when it begins, but when is the amount due is by the exact date of the month. They also went on to say, it's all fine, we have specified you must have an exact date for loan sanctioned after November 12, 2021, but what about the loan sanctioned prior to the issuance of the circular? They have given a clarification to that also. They said all those term loan accounts must also have a date as and when you have a review or a renewal of the same. Normally there is no renewal for a term loan. If it is linked to the CC account, the CC account is renewed every year and therefore the term loan account is also reviewed. But even if it is a standalone term loan, it is expected to be reviewed, not renewed, but reviewed on a yearly basis, and based on that, at that point of time, you must mention the exact date. Which means, when we go to the bank 5 days from now or 6 days from now, all the term loan accounts in that branch must have an exact date of repayment mentioned in the schedule and entered in the master data of the borrower's account. If it is not there, in say 1 or 2 cases out of 100 term loans account in the branch, I might not be worried too much. I might just probably make a mention of it in the long form audit report, or I might not even make a mention of it in the long form audit report. But out of 100 loan accounts, I see there are about 70-80 accounts which does not have a due date. Then it's a systemic error, which means they are not following the circular issued by the Reserve Bank of India, and therefore it will call for a strong point in the long form audit report. And also probably based on this, I am not even able to find out when the account becomes a special mention account or an NPA on the exact date on which it becomes, might carry a qualification depending on the gravity of the situation. So that is what I will put forward. Now let's look at what RBI says. In case loan will be borrowed in payment of principal or interest, the exact date of commencement of repayment shall be specified to the loan agreement. Compliance is the earliest, but not before, not later than 31st December 2021. And finally, in case of loans which are sanctioned earlier also, you should change it. So they cannot have any excuse for not changing it. They can't say, sir, this loan was granted before the date of the circular because there is no 2.5 years. In these 2.5 years, they should have reviewed this term loan account at least once, and at that point of time, they should have changed. Now, the second question is, somebody asked me in a Madurai branch when I was attending them, sir, what happens if the branch always caps, in the loan agreement, they say the last day of the next month. If they sanctioned a loan on January, they say 30th, the last day of the month commencing from February. I think then they are going against the spirit of the law. I can understand that they should have a system. If you looked at the NBFC of those days, even today I think they follow the same system. If Sundaram Finance advances a term loan for a purchase of a car today, which is the 22nd of March, the first repayment will come in April, 22nd of April. That is how they always had it. Housing loan also, that's how HDFC went through. So I think something like that policy should have been worked out by the bank. The bank should have a policy on how they are going to fix that due date. But if it is all on the last day of the month, which is what they have done, again I think in my opinion, I think it calls for a report in the long form audit report saying that it is not in consonance with the spirit of the circular issued by the Reserve Bank of India. Now let's move on to the second point that I spoke about. I have on screen a slide which talks about resolution of stressed asset. I am personally not going to go into the resolution of stressed asset very strongly for the simple reason that this resolution of stressed assets apply for loans above 2,500 crores. It's already implemented. For 1,000 crores also it's been implemented. Less than 1,000 crores, the date of implementation or date when this resolution process will become mandatory has not been notified to the Reserve Bank of India even to date. Although the resolution of stress itself has been there in existence for about 3-4 years now, the new scheme of resolution. And I don't think any of us are going to do a branch with more than 1,000 crores advances, and therefore it's of irrelevance to us. But what is relevant to us in that particular circular is the special mention account. RBI says once an account is overdue, it becomes a special mention account. On day one, it becomes a special mention account. And from that day till the 30th, for next 30 days, it will remain an SMA 0 account. From the 31st day to the 60th day, it will be an SMA 1 account. And from the 61st day to the 90th day, it will become NPA. It will remain an SMA 2 account, and thereafter it will become an NPA. This is as far as term loans are concerned. As far as CC is concerned, or any overdraft facility is concerned, the SMA 0 concept is not there. Because it is out of order, it becomes out of order, it will remain a standard non-special mention account for the first 30 days of it being out of order. But the minute it crosses 30 days, it will become a special mention account 1. So SMA 0 classification is not available for CC. It's only available for term loans. And after the 60th day, it will become an SMA 2 account. And after the 90th day, it will become a NPA. Now, when is this classification done? I don't know whether I asked the correct question. Let me rephrase the question. An amount is due to the bank today. That is the 22nd of March 2023, an amount is 24th, amount is due to the bank. Let's say in a term loan account. It does not come today. Will it become overdue today or will it become overdue tomorrow? Today. Today? Is today right? It is right. RBI says very clearly it cannot be the next day, it has to be the day on which the amount is due. If it is not received, it will become an SMA 0 account. In fact, RBI goes on to state, if the money does not hit the account of the borrower, the loan account of the borrower, before the day-end operations of that day is run, irrespective of when it is run, it will be an SMA 0 account for that particular calendar day. Now, why did they put in the word irrespective of the time when it is, the day in which it is run? Because some of the day-end operations are not run before 12 midnight, which means it's a new date. By and large, normally, in normal weekdays, it is run by somewhere after 9 o'clock and the day-end operation starts. But the end of the quarter, annual closing, it cannot start by before 12 o'clock. Invariably, it is not possible for the banks to start the day-end operation before 12 o'clock for the simple reason unless and until all the branches close their accounts and shut down the system, the day-end operation cannot start. The day-end operation will start only when the last branch in that bank shuts down their GL, shuts down their system and log out of the system. Only then the day-end operation will start. Therefore, the days, 31st March, I know for a fact that it doesn't start before 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. All the ATMs should close for 10 minutes. Then only the day-end operation starts. So by the time it starts, it's the 1st of April. System recognizes it as 1st of April. The date will be 1st of April when they start the day-end processing for 31st March. RBI says, irrespective of when you run the day-end process, the date on which the account should be marked as an SMA 0, 1, 2 or NPA will be the calendar date for which the day-end operation is run. This is again a thing where nothing other than everything, but if you look at it, the repayment is also a due date. The monthly due date 15th is given. When will these accounts become a SMA 0, 1 or 2? It will become SMA 0 on the 15th of that month, not on the 16th. By and large, the bankers always had the confusion. They always kept saying that if the money is due today and it doesn't come today, it will become overdue only tomorrow. RBI says no, it will become overdue today. They have given time for the borrower to pay the amount till the day-end operation starts. Obviously, the borrower will never know when it will start. So, by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, if he doesn't send the money into the after today, hardly anybody ever goes to the bank to pay money into a term loan account. It is all done through the net and through electronic media. So, it can come anytime. It doesn't have to come before the closing hours. If it comes, it will be marked as a normal account. Otherwise, it will become an SMA 0, 1 or 2 account. This is what RBI stated. These are the lines used by RBI in the circular as part of day-end process for the due date irrespective of the time of running such day-end operations. I have put the second paragraph, which you probably remember seeing in the earlier slides also, just to emphasize that a due date is a must. It should not go away from my mind. A due month is not what should be there in the loan agreement. A due date, a specific due date must be there in the loan agreements. This has been stated in paragraph 8.4 of the master circular, or the latest master circular. This is an account of a CC account. If you look at the screen, the summation of debits is about 30 lakhs and summation of debits is about 7 lakhs. Credits is about 7 lakhs. Is this account an out of order account or is it an NPA account? It's a question. Let's go to the next slide a minute before we come back here. Now these are covering cases where the outstanding balance on the principal operating loan is less than sanction limits. I would probably launch into this particular aspect of IRAC norms before we look at this slide. We will come to term loans later, but in CC account, what does it say? If an account the account will be out of order if it is continuously operating above the limits. And if it continuously operates above the limits for 90 days, the account will be classified as NPA. The minute it is outside the limits, it is out of order. And if this out of order continues for 90 days, it will become an NPA. What do we mean by out of order? Out of order definition says an account should be operated within the limits. Let's take an example. The loan sanctioned is 10 crores, 25% margin. The stock value is 15, stock plus book debt value is 15 crores. So they have sufficient margin. They can operate at 10 crores. But if they are operating at 10 crores 50 lakhs for a continuous period of 90 days, the account will become an NPA. It will be classified as SMA 0, SMA 1 on the completion of 30 days, SMA 2 on the completion of 60 days, and on the 90th day it will become an NPA. Let's take another example, same example, another situation. The limit sanction is same 10 crores, they are operating roughly 9.5 crores. But there are no credits at all in the account. Or there are no credits there are no credits continuously for 90 days. From 1st of April to June 30th or July 30th, there are no credits at all. It will become an NPA on that day. On the 91st day, when there are no credits continuously for 90 days, it will become an NPA. Previously, it said as on the date of balance sheet. That has now been removed. So any 90-day period if money is not, there is no credits in a CC account, the account will become an NPA. Now the question is, it can become performing asset again 10 days later when money comes in. But on the 90th day, it should have been marked as an NPA. Am I with you here? Now, let's assume another second case is, there are credits in the account. But the sum total of all the credits is not sufficient to cover the interest debited during the previous 90 days period. Same example to my April to July, there are no credits, or April to June, 90 days is there. But on the 20th of June, an amount of 50,000 rupees comes into the account. April interest is debited, May interest is debited. And you also have to look at March interest because 90 days prior to that. Is it enough to cover the interest debited during the previous 90 days? If it is not sufficient to cover the interest debited during the previous 90 days, the account will become an NPA. With that in mind, let's look at the previous slide. If you look at the previous slide, the last credit in the account is somewhere on 20th of March, which is about 1 lakh of rupees. But the interest debited prior to that, 90 days prior to that, I marked in green on the 29th of January, 26th of April, and 20th of December. By themselves, each one of them is about 1 lakh of rupees. The total is about 3 lakhs and odd, whereas the credit that is coming is only 1 lakh. This account will become an NPA. Apart from this, that it becomes an NPA, I would also probably, even if the amount that had come in was 4 lakhs and it covered interest, I would still think that this account is fit for comment under the long-form monetary code. Because if you look at the debit summation, it's about 30 lakhs. But the credit summation is not even 1/4 of that. A CC account should have a healthy debit and credits in the account. The entire purpose of a CC account is for business purposes, which means all the sales turnover should be routed through this account. When expenses are being met through this account, where is the income going? Does he have another bank account without the knowledge of this bank where he puts in all the receipts from his customers? I don't know, but I wonder whether it is being done. I would probably have a lengthy comment about this account in the non-form audit report, giving all the particulars so that the central statutory auditors and the top management of the bank can take a look at the account more clearly than what the branch has done. The branch should have asked, they should have written to the borrower asking, why is it that no credits are not coming in? I can understand credits not coming in some accounts. For example, let's say there is a road transport contractor who works with the National Highway Authority or with the state government. They don't get credits on a daily basis or even a monthly basis. It happens on progressive billing by the contractor. And sometimes you will find huge credits coming in the month of March. The budget estimates which are still there, they have to spend more than a year into over, so the money will come in. After that, it will be a drought for 3-4 months. I can understand something like that. But I can't understand a normal trader or a manufacturer CC account having a debit summation of 30-35 lakh and a credit summation of hardly 5 lakhs. That means there is a possibility that he is not putting in. And if you look at the financial statements audited by fellow professionals of the institute of the 31st March 2023, you will find the data are not so high. I can at least understand that the data are high, and therefore he has given a credit period of 180 days. The data are not high. He has said most of it, 80% of it is less than 6 months or less than 90 days. Then where is the question of him not having credits coming into the account? You go to the circular of Reserve Bank of India which talks about red flagged accounts. One of the points given to the red flagged account is turnover not routed to the CC account is an indicator of something being potentially wrong with the account and may land up in an NPA or a fraud account. I'll take 2 minutes to on that particular circular which talks about frauds and red flags. RBI does not expect us to unearth frauds. We are not expected to do that. But we are expected to bring to the attention of the top management and the central statutory auditors of the bank accounts which are potentially in the situation where they can become potentially a fraud account or an NPA. They have listed about 42 items in that circular which are all indicative of the possibility of the account becoming an NPA or a fraud account. Some of those items listed there are very, very simple things that we see in every CC account. Stock statement not submitted on time. Half the CC accounts in the branch that we do on audit will become stock statements not submitted on time. Again, they've got about 42 items. I probably would, if I was going to do the audit of a branch, I probably would take this in either soft copy or a hard copy given to my audit team. When they are looking at a CC account, let them look at what are all, how many of these 42 clauses are applicable to this particular account. If only 1 or 2 is applicable, I might just note it down my working paper is not doing. Supposing 10 of them are applicable. I don't have a responsibility to report that as a potential red flag account to the RBI. It is not as though all the 43 should be there. Some other examples. Statutory dues not paid on time. Car we are reporting about it. If I look at the car report, I know whether it's being paid on time or not. Or if there is a letter from the GST department asking the bank to take appropriate money from the CC account and pay it because they have not paid their dues, that's an indication that they have not paid the dues properly. So there are several items like this. So is that something which we can do to strengthen the long-form audit? Because by and large, every time the institute has a meeting with the RBI, I think what RBI says is where is the value addition from your members of your institute? We don't get any value addition in the long-form audit. And we find divergence in the NPA statements after our inspectors go and do an audit in the month of June, 2 months after your people have left the branch. So let us look at that, keep that also in mind, the red flagged account and see whether there is something that we can report there. So this will probably become a SMA 0 or 3, it will probably become an NPA account. So this is as far as if it is less than the limit, but there are no credits continuously period of 90 days. Forget the word as on balance sheet date, it is no longer there. In the master circular also it's gone. Thanks to the circular of 12 November 2021, that phrase has been removed. And the other thing is, or the credits are inadequate to cover the interest debited during the previous 90-day period. If we have this clarity of due date as of term loan and out of order clarification of CC account, I think it becomes very easy to do a bank audit, at least as far as these two sectors are concerned. In case of interest payments, when should it be paid? When should it be cleared by the borrower? In all term loan agreements, it will be said interest to be serviced as and when debited. Master Circular of RBI, para 2.4.3 of October 1, 2021, said he has 1 quarter time before the interest debited in the previous quarter can be cleared out. This is the old one. I have just put it up for sake of comparison. Do not take it into your mind. This has been now changed. It has been changed to within 90 days, in case of interest on escrow term loan account, because the interest applied in specified right is not serviced in 90 days. So if the December interest is debited on the 25th of December, you have to calculate 90 days from the 25th of December, not from the 31st of December. Am I clear here? Never have I seen an account getting the interest being debited to the account on the last day of the month. In fact, if you look at the statements, interest will be debited by a bank for its branches in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, on probably the 24th of December or 24th of any month. For branches in Andhra, it might be the 25th. For Karnataka, it might be the 26th. Why does this happen? Why is CC account interest or term loan account interest debited by the bank on different dates for different borrowers? I won't say different borrowers. Different borrowers belong to a geographical location. It is impossible for the bank to run the entire interest run on one particular night for all the banks in the country. The infrastructure that is required and the computing power that is required is a limitation. So banks are chosen to debit interest based on geographical locations. If they have 5,000 branches, they probably do 1,000 branches today, 1,000 branches tomorrow, and so on. So it's almost always 4 to 5 days. It normally starts out on the 24th or 25th of the month and is over by the 29th of the month. You can take a look at your client's CC account. Never will you find it at the same date. It will be somewhere between 24th to 29th, not the last day of the month. And this clarification is very important. 90 days is what you have, not the end of the next quarter. This is an account, a term loan account, which was classified as an NPA on the 15th of June 2023. The borrower comes to the bank on the 15th of February 2024 and pays this amount of 13,37,000 rupees. And the bank upgrades it as a standard account. All that we are going to do now is look at whether the upgradation is correct or not correct. I have on the right side of the screen the drawing power or the theoretical balance that should be there in the account as on the 15th of every month, which is the date on which the amount is due. Okay. If you look at it, just let me go on. This is the DP as of the 15th of every month. So April 23, this should be the DP. April 23, this should be the DP. June, May, June, all the DP's amount is given. Now, if you look at when it was made an NPA, on that day, 20,000 lakhs should have been done by theoretical balance, but the balance was 34 lakhs 28,000 rupees. 7 lakhs or so was the excess, and 2 lakhs is the monthly rest, therefore it became an NPA. When they came and cleared, upgraded it to by 30 lakhs 37,000 rupees paying on 15th of June, 15th of February. In February, if you look at it, the drawing power is 22 lakhs. After the credit of the amount, it became 24 lakhs. It is still not within the theoretical balance. Is this upgradation correct? After all, today the excess is only 2 lakhs, which is only one installment. Is the upgradation correct? Or is it wrong? It is wrong. It's correct? Entire outstanding must be cleared. Once you can have a delinquency of 90 days, provided the account is standard. Once an account becomes NPA, what RBI says is, if you want to upgrade the account, on the day of upgradation, there cannot be even 1 rupee in arrears. All the period interest till that date, all the normal interest till that date, and all the principal due till that date must be paid in full. Which means they should have paid 2 lakhs more. Only if they have paid 2 lakhs more, would it have been upgraded. Banks don't do this. Banks take the amount of money to bring it within 90 days or 60 days and they upgrade it. Even today, in spite of the fact that all the banks say we have a very robust system, the account will automatically, when the system will take care of everything, you don't have to worry, I would probably look at this. I would probably take the last year's NPA statement, compare to the present NPA statement, see whether the dates of NPA that are there last year are the same dates, whether all the accounts that are there in the last year's statement have also figured in this year's statement. If they don't, I will ask them what are the reasons why it does not figure. It does not figure because of maybe two or three reasons. One, it has been upgraded. Then I will look at the upgradation process. Two, it has been transferred to the asset recovery branch. Then there must be communication and vouchers to transfer it to asset recovery branch. Three, it has been written off, transferred to head office. Technical write-off, transferred to head office. Again, there must be communication, there must be the vouchers for it. Upgradation, I will certainly look. I will also ask them for a report of which are the accounts that you classified as NPA during the year and upgraded during the year. Those cases I will certainly do it. The branch manager will tell you there is nothing, our system will automatically take care. Then what am I here for? What am I supposed to do? Standard lines they, just like we undergo a training program, I think they also undergo a training program. போன வருஷம் அந்த ஆடிட்டர் ஒரு நாள்ல முடிச்சுட்டு போயிட்டாங்க சார். எல்லாம் கேட்டுட்டோம், வருஷமா கேட்டுட்டோம். So let's not get carried away with it. Let's look at this. Even today, I think today or yesterday in some economic paper it said NPA system is still not robust. Banks say it is robust. We don't know. Some of the banks say it is. RBI very clearly said it should be an integral part of the system. But is it completely integral part of the system, or is it still something which can be tampered? Without naming the bank, he will tell you what happened in one bank about 4-5 years back. Before COVID, so probably 5 years back. We were looking at education loans. And from the date of sanction, I found that looking at the balance available in the account and what should be the balance, I had a sinister feeling that something was not right. So we called for the loan document and saw what the loan document said. When should the repayment commence? And looked at the master. There is a difference between the date of commencement of loan as per the sanction and the date that has been entered in the system. The date of commencement was not entered wrongly. The date on which the last installment falls due, being equal to monthly installments, was changed. System was calculating the theoretical balance not based on the number of the months that elapsed from the date the repayment should start, but system was calculating the theoretical balance from whatever the last day, which is about 15 years back. Number of months installment still due. An account which should close on 14th of on 2028, if it is made 29, obviously there is going to be a difference. And when we queried the branch about it, the branch had no clue. And they said they did not do it. We said we were definitely going to put this in our report and whatever. Then they called up the regional office. It came to light that somebody in the regional office had changed those dates. Now, how do I believe that there is no manual intervention at all? Sir, every bank has a database. The database is in the control of the IT department, headed by a GM. After all, the GM works only under the pressure of the managing director. If the managing director says, look, I want you to open up the database for 31st of March for 10 minutes, will he do it or won't he do it? He will do it. Because he also wants to go for wants to become an ED, he has to go for the interview next year, he will do it. Andamana Harichandran not like nobody will know. Audit log it will get recorded. But the audit log will be found out only by the people who are doing the information systems audit, not by the people who are doing financial audit. And the information systems audits are done by the biggest multinational firms in the world. You have IS audit பண்ணுங்க சார். நம்ம பண்ற IS auditலாம் அங்க போய் கம்ப்யூட்டர் தொடச்சு வச்சிருக்கானா இல்லையான்னு பார்க்கணும். Have you ever gone into the system and done an audit? We all passed the visa exam. Some of us are even CISA. It's always the big four. The big multinational firms of this world. And they are the ones who have paid the maximum amount of penalty for not complying with law. If you look at the SEC website of the United States of America. Today, NAFRA is also qualified. They have also given a scattering report about their processes, their quality processes. I am not trying to say that my quality process is better than theirs. No, not at all. They have a very good documentation system, they have a quality process, but they are also human beings susceptible to influences. So let us not go only with the system. If we have to go only with the system, then all I need is my digital signature. That is what. Go to the branch and come out. No, I think we need to look at this point of whether it has been upgraded properly or not a lot more closely than what we were doing. This is what RBI says. NPAs may be upgraded only if the entire areas of interest and principal are paid to the borrower. This is with regard to project loans where the date of commencement of commercial operation should be there. Again, I am not going into it in detail because most of us won't look at project loans in the branches we do. Income regarding possible loans is moratorium on payment of interest. As long as there is a moratorium, the income will be recognized on accrual basis. But once the moratorium is over, the income can be recognized only on actual basis if it becomes an NPA. We all know that. What RBI says is fine. You recognize interest as on the basis of accrual till it becomes moratorium is over. After that, if the interest is not capitalized, till the moratorium period, whatever the interest is accrued, if it is not capitalized and added to the principal account, then if it becomes an NPA, this you should also de-recognize the interest of the earlier years not received. Just to take an example. A loan has been given for, let us say, a mango grove or a long gestation project where only after 4 years the project will start yielding revenue. So they give a loan and they say the repayment will commence only in the 5th year because 4 years of moratorium for both principal and interest. On projects, it can happen. So in the 4 years there is nothing we can do as auditors. But when we go, it is the 6th year. 5th year the repayment started, they paid something, and 6th year payment stopped, it becomes an NPA. Once it becomes an NPA, I have to reverse the interest for the current year, unearned interest for the current year. That I really don't worry because the system takes care of it. If an account becomes NPA on 15th of June 2023, immediately as soon as it is marked as NPA, the system goes back and looks at all the interest debited 1st of April 2023 to 15th June 23, sees whether it has been recovered. If it has not been recovered, it reverses it by reducing the income itself. But the RBI, IRAC norms doesn't stop there. IRAC norm also says, for unearned interest of the earlier years, not even years must be provided for. That no branch will do. System will not give us any figures. We have to pull out the loan sheets of the previous years and look at whether there is unearned interest. And if there are unearned interest, make an MOV providing for it. System is, no bank has that system which goes back and looks at the previous year's records to find out there are unearned interest. The only distinction RBI is that if the interest has been capitalized, then you don't have to reverse interest. That's all they are saying is. Loans with moratorium on payment of interest and the time of sanction of the loan becomes NPA after the moratorium is over. The capitalized interest corresponding to the interest approved during such moratorium period need not be reversed. All of things must be reversed.
Need not be
Reversed. Unearned interest of the earlier years should be reversed. Need not be done. Unearned interest of the previous years need not be done. See, I can't reverse the interest of the previous years. That's why I make a provision. Because it's already gone. Balance is over, everything is closed out of the previous years. The next thing that they talk about is on IRAC provision pertinent advances. Further clarifications were issued by on the February 15, 2022. They are only reiterating or re-emphasizing certain of the points that they already spoke in the November circular. Out of order definition is applicable to all CC accounts, all overdraft accounts, not necessarily business purpose. Applicable to all loan products offered as overdraft, including those for non-business purpose and or which entails interest payment of benefits. So if I have taken a loan, personal loan against my property, a CC loan, even for that out of order will apply. It need not necessarily be only a business account. That's an important clarification which has come out. As normally again, all of them say, "Avana ning paakka vendam sir, personal loan sir. Nariya share kuduthirukkaru, rendu veedu kuduthirukkaru, onnu aagadu sir. Onnu aaguma aagadanga na kavalapadren. 90 nalukulla system prakaram vandirukka." This is what I mean. Previous 90-day period in an out of order is inclusive of the day for which the day person is. Again, same thing, reiterating. So when I read the circular, I said, why are they trying to repeat the same thing that they already told me in November 2021? Again, they are saying the same thing 6 months later or 5 months later, 1 year later. That is the kind of emphasis that the RBI is laying on these items. If you look at the date, it's 22, February 22, which means they still don't believe that the November 21 circular has been completely adhered to. And that's why they're probably giving this. Therefore, we need to be careful because we are only driven by RBI circulars, not by anything else. More than one facility upgrade. This is an interesting thing. They have 5 facilities, one becomes an NPA, obviously all of them will become NPA. We just saw about 5 minutes back, when you want to upgrade an account from NPA to standard, there should be no arrears at all in that loan account. Now when there are several facilities, there should not be any arrears in all the facilities. Not just the one term loan account which became NPA. If they clear alone, that alone, but the others have still 2 months delinquency, not enough. There should be zero overdue in all the facilities put together, only things that they have. It's a very difficult thing for any borrower to upgrade an asset like that. And that's why I'm always very wary when they say it's been upgraded, sir, everything has been done correctly. Because it entails a huge amount of money. Is there anything with regard to these 2 circulars that we need a little more clarification? Yes, sir, please.
Just to explain once again that previous year interest reversals.
moratorium. He's asking about the
Okay. You talking about moratorium?
No, NPA interest reversal.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to look at it in CC account.
Sir, bank says interest or principal overdue for more than 90 days. The bank says if the interest portion is served, if then principal portions becomes overdue, they are not treating as NPA. Is it right?
No, it's not. Interest and or principal.
So either one of it is satisfied.
Both should not be more than 8 days. Which bank is this?
I can't reveal, sir.
Banks will come up with all crazy things. I think we need to be guided only by the insured circular. If you are not, the RBI circular, if you are not clear about the circular, look at the institute guidance note. If that is also not clear, let's talk to our colleagues who have been doing the audit of banks for donkey's years, and they should be able to give us the better. Of course, one idea would be to call the central statutory auditors of the bank whose numbers are available with us, but invariably I can tell you they won't pick up your call. So you might as well call your colleagues. It's difficult also for them. I don't blame them. It's difficult for them because they are doing some of the top 20 branches. I know what it is. It's a painful thing to do. In spite of the fact that you do make more good money, it's still painful. I was there as a service director for 3 years. Very difficult to pick up calls from members at that point. When you have a query like this, there is an expert panel of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India where about 70 or 100 members, we are part of the panel. A question is sent by mail to the institute. The reply comes to you within 24 hours because they ensure that these mails go to the people in the panel. Not the entire thing doesn't go to one member. So there's a very good system of that. I think SIRT is also thinking something like that of having a question answer session in the evenings in the first week of April. So that could also be a avenue to look at. So typically the only thing that we really need to know is in terms of numbers is 90 days. In the case of all loans, other than agricultural loans, the 90-day norm continues to apply. There is no change whatsoever there. Installments of principal remain overdue for a period of more than 90 days in the reserve term loan. In case of interest payment, the reserve term loan, an account declared in pay, the interest applied at specified rate remains overdue for more than 90 days. So this, I think, answers your question. And as far as interest is concerned, if it remains overdue for a period of more than 90 days. So if it is debited on the 25th of November, 25th of November, 25th you should take that date into account. So 31 minus 25, 7 days is already gone in December, 31 days in Jan, 29 days in February this year. Now again, I don't know whether the system, all the computer systems in the country are geared for 29 days. Whether they work on 90 days principle of every quarter or they work on a particular date, I don't know. Let's check it out. That is what they should. In the case of a CC account, this is again an upgradation. Master Circular, RBI para 4.2.5. It can be upgraded only when there are no arrears, which we already looked at. In fact, the same idea, the same thing which has been said in the circular has also been emphasized by ICA in its guidance note. I in fact love the language used by the ICA. It is lot more clear to me than what the RBI's paragraph says. It says, upgradation is allowable only if the borrower reaches no overdue status. This should not be misunderstood with overdue brought within a 90-day delinquency period. Language has been used with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Do not think that just because it is overdue for only 60 days, it can be upgraded. No, it has to be completely clear. It's very lovely language used, far more illustrative than the RBI circular. So CC, we come to CC account. Again, we already looked at it. As long as it is well within the limits and there are enough debits and credits in the account, I don't worry. It is operating above the limits continuously for 90 days, it will become an NPA. Irrespective of the fact that it is overdue only by 1 lakh. 10 crores is the limit. They are always operating around 10. Every daily balance is about 10 crores, 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. So 2 lakhs are the difference. The surplus is very clear. Unless the branch manager has given an ad hoc sanction of 10% more, they have the discretionary power. But that ad hoc sanction cannot be more than for 90 days. They will then tell you, or if it's overdue only, let's say 50,000 rupees. They will tell you, sir, central statutory auditors will say, materiality 50,000 rupees. Materiality, in my opinion, can apply to revenue items. It cannot apply to NPA. NPA is principle based, not materiality based. If that is the case, then all accounts less than 50,000 can never get marked as NPA. Why should I mark them as NPA account? So in my opinion, materiality cannot apply to this particular item. And tomorrow, if there is a divergence, the person who is going to be asked the question is not the branch manager. He might even have got transferred, got his promotion and got transferred. It's the auditor of the branch. Yesterday in Hyderabad, day before yesterday in Hyderabad, when we were addressing a bank audit seminar, somebody from Bombay said there are about 100 branch auditors in the state of Maharashtra or the neighboring two states have received letters from RBI asking why is there divergence in the loan, in the provisioning or the classification in your branch. It's not that only central statutory auditors receive the notice, even branch auditors receive it. I know for a fact that, this at least I heard, I know for a fact that auditors in Kerala receive it. Do I want to be in that list? I don't know. If you, God willing, none of us should get a letter like that or even a letter from the disciplinary committee. But for which we need to be very careful. So we go by what the circular says. So if it is out of order, continuously it becomes an NPA. It is operating well within the limits. Limit meaning the sanctioned amount or the drawing power whichever is lower. But there are no credits at all in the account, it will become an NPA on the 91st day. There are credits, but the credits are not sufficient to cover the interest debited during the previous 90 days, it will become an NPA. To go with the third question. Once an account becomes an NPA, I need to reverse all the interest. I need to reverse all the interest of the current year. And I also need to provide for the unearned interest of the earlier years. Now the question is, how can there be unearned interest of the earlier year when it was a performing affair on 31st of March? As on 31st of March, let us assume it is only an SMA2 account, which is 60 days of overdue. It becomes an SMA3 account sometime in April, and probably first week of May it becomes the NPA account. Then, if you look at it, it became an SMA 1 account and 2 account because interest had not been served, also part of the process, which means there is interest debited probably in the month of January, February and March, which is also unearned, which has not been received. That calls for a reversal. What I was trying to say is that reversal is not done by the system. If they tell you it is done by the system, don't believe it. Because if you look at it, if you look at the system, it would have reversed the interest debited from 1st of April till May, till the date of NPA. That will be clearly identified. Where is the entry for this? They will tell you all sorts of stories. Sir, Inga head off with the war. Not possible. Logically not possible. Practically not possible. So that interest I have to pull out. I am giving you an example, taking into consideration 2 months' time. But supposing an account had not been marked as NPA, which should have been marked as NPA last year itself, not marked. For whatever reason. We plug in the software, branch uttutanga, namru uttutom, something can go wrong for an account to be marked as NPA. In which case it can even run for more than a year. Especially in the case of loans which have a long moratorium period of 4 years, and the interest is not capitalized and made part of it, then it can run for 4 years. Definitely agricultural plantations, plantation crops are cultivated. Only thing is the agriculture go by a different norm. It doesn't go by the 90-day norm. We could have situations like that. We'll also talk about the kind of situation which can come in education loan. Education loan, a moratorium for interest is given at the option of the borrower till the date he completes his education. Some of the banks treat it as a special account, a separate account. Some of them credit capitalize interest and add it to the principal account. That's where the difference starts. Am I clear, sir? Just 1 second. Bills, same thing. Overdue for more than 90 days, it will become an overdue. Generally, the golden rule or the Bible of IRAC norms is any amount due to the bank on account of a credit facility extended by the bank to the borrower must be received within 90 days from the due date. For all lending account except agricultural advances. When it comes to agricultural advances, we go by what is called a crop season. There are 2 concepts that we need to understand in agricultural advances. 1, a crop season. 2, the short-term and long-term crops. What is the long-term crop or what is the short-term crop? What is the crop season? If we understand this, then I think we can do a damn good job in auditing agricultural advances. IRAC norm says, in the case of a short-term loan, short-term crop, the account will become an NPA only after 2 more crop seasons from the due date. In the case of long-term, it is 1 more crop season from the due date. What is the short-term crop? A short-term crop is one where from the time the seeds are sowed till the time it is harvested and made ready for marketing, it can be sold to the market. The produce can be sold to the market. That period, if it does not exceed a period of 1 year, it is a short term. Where the period is more than 1 year, it's a long term. Very simple definition. But if you combine it with the season, it says a loan granted for short-term period crop will the NPA of the installment principal and interest to 2 crop seasons. The short-term crop or long-term crop has nothing to do with crop seasons. The crop season, there are 2 crop seasons in the country, Kharif and Rabi. Does the entire country have the Kharif season beginning on the same day and ending on the same day? Or the Rabi season beginning on the same day and ending on the same day? No. Tamil Nadu might have a different date, Andhra might have a different date, Kerala might have a different date, although they are all neighbors. Now this crop season and various other things associated with, like whether an account can be restructured in a particular district without downgrading the asset, agricultural asset I'm talking about, agricultural loan, can it be done because there is a famine, there is a drought, there is a flooding, all that is decided not by Reserve Bank of India, not by the bank which has given the loan, not by the government of India, state government, but it is decided by state level banking committee. Every state and every union territory has a state level banking committee. If you go into Google and say SLBC Tamil Nadu, a website will open. State level banking committee of Tamil Nadu will open. Where discussions between the committee and various circulars issued by them are available. I would never do an audit of an agriculture branch unless the first thing that I ask for and they give me is the circulars of SLBC available in a file at the branch level. If they don't have it, please ask them to get it from the nearest branch or from the regional office. Because that is the source, that is the starting point for my agriculture. All the circulars might not be available on the website, but it will be available. It should be available in the branch. If it's an agricultural branch, they should have it. Because that is what gives us a good idea of whether it is Kharif crop or Rabi crop, when the crop season begins, when it ends, all those things which are very crucial for classifying it as an NPA. All along, probably till 2005, I started doing branch audit way back in 1988. Until about 2004, 2005, I interpreted this to mean crop season to mean, if it is a short-term crop and if it is an 8-month crop, I have 16 more months, 2 more crop seasons, therefore 8 into 16 more months from the due date. If it is a long-term crop, let's say 13 months crop or a 14 months crop, I have 1 more crop season which is 14 months more. I was wrong. But thankfully nothing, nobody found any fault with what I did in the audit. So, apart computers, more manual books which we used to do, and there is no IRAC norms, circular stating what is to be done. But now what happens is, this is the Kharif and Rabi season. When is the disbursement period? When is the interest application date? The compounding date, this is given in your page reference that is given of ICAI guidance note, current edition, 2024 edition. How many of you read the guidance note on audit of banks? Wow! I really need to appreciate 1,200 pages. Excellent. I have not read it. I'll be very honest. I have read selectively in some chapters. But if I was to do the audit of the bank which is predominantly agriculture, I will not go anywhere near the branch unless I have read that particular chapter on the guidance note. Not only does it give me information, it gives me almost more or less a checklist, a ready reckoner for how I should classify an account as an NPA. Let's look at that. I will leave this with the organizers. I'm sure they've mailed it to you, so I'm not going into some of those things. Since this is there in a particular page. Not even a word or a comma is mine. All been. I've just actually taken a photocopy of that, photo shoot of that, or a screenshot of that, of a guidance note and put it up here. If you look at about 5 items here: sanction date, harvesting time, repayment due date, interest subvention, date of irregularity. For short-term crop, Kharif and Rabi season, long-term crop, tariff analysis. Everything is here. It doesn't end here. You go to the next page, you have some more multiple or double cropping pattern, single or monocropping pattern. When does the season end? When does the second crop season start? When is the date of NPA? Excellently worked out examples are given. So if I can, with the help of the SLBC surplus of my branch that I am auditing, go back to slide, please. So if I can take that the first, it's a continuous table. It's a continuous table because of lack of space. I have shown it as 2 slides. So if I can look at the short-term kharif crop and all those 4 columns after the particular column, and the date, if I can change the date there, based on the SLBC surplus available in the branch for the state in which I am auditing, I can arrive at the date in the next slide. I can arrive at the date which is mentioned in 8 or 11. I won't be far, I won't be making a mistake. And even if I do make a mistake or somebody finds a fault with me, I have followed the guidance to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Nobody can find fault with me. Why I am saying that I would not have stated this normally, but why I am stating this is in another branch where there was a speaker from Kanpur. He was saying with due respects to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the example they have given is also wrong. And he gave his own slide, where from my observation of the slide which is the same format, the date of NPA is about 2-3 months earlier to the dates given here by the Institute. I would rather go with the example given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India rather than an individual member, however bigger expert he is in bank audit. I am not trying to find fault. Probably he's right, I don't know. I am not so conversant with the advances. But this is what I would do if I was doing the audit, because I think I have a safety net. I have gone through the SLBC surplus, I have gone through the agricultural loan policy of the particular bank I am auditing. I have also read the guidance note on audit of banks by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I have followed their examples and arrived at NPA date or arrived at my conclusion. After all, finally, if you have exercised due diligence, nobody can fight fault with you. And that I would have satisfied. So let's look at please, the entire agricultural advances chapter is about 25 pages. If you eliminate these 3 or 4 pages where you have charts like this running about 15 to 18 pages, that I think we should certainly read. At least other those 3 or 4 members who said they have read the entire guide note, I think all of us should read that circular if we are going to a rural branch. Mount Road branch is chapter. Why should we get confused about agriculture, allied activities, fishery, poultry, examples of allied activity, all that also given in the Institute of Guidance Note, please go through. If there are calamity, natural calamities have been affected, then you need to look at this particular circular mentioned there. If they have done the restructuring as per this circular, based on the advice of the SLBC that this Ramanathapuram district you can restructure. This particular district you can restructure. It is decided by the SLBC, not by anything else. Apart from the functioning of the account, if there are certain cases where account can become an NPA, a stock statement given on the 1st of August, giving the stock position on the 31st July, you can compute the drawing power for the month of August, September and October. On November, the DP should become 0, because RBI says you cannot compute the drawing power based on a stock statement which is more than 3 months old. So a stock statement computed on, based on that, if you compute it, then the account becomes 0, the DP becomes 0, and if that process continues for another period of 3 months, the account will become or 90 days, not 3 months, it will become an NPA. So the first thing that I ask for is, do you have stock statements of 42 CC accounts that you have? Where are the stock statements? Do you have the stock statement at least as of September? Because if they have it as of September, DP can be computed for October, November and December. Only in January 1st it will become 0. and for 90 days. But this year, it can become 91 days because of 29 March. We need to look out for that. Am I happy if they say yes for all the accounts of all 40,000 I have September? No, I am not happy. Why is February not available? March not available? February not available? March I can understand. They have time till the 10th of April to do it. But why is February not available? So that is the point for long form auditor. But I'll just get into that before I finish these two. Second is, once an account is, every CC account has to be renewed every year. And exactly 1 year from the date of this year's renewal, it should be renewed. If it has not been renewed within a period of 180 days from the date on which the limit lapsed or the expiry lapsed, it should become an NPA even if the account is working perfectly well. Sir, we short term review sir, mid term review sir, long review review it should be done within 100 days. RBI circular very clearly states, we understand that large borrowers will need time to present their financial statements, blah blah blah. But however, it should be renewed within 180 days. If it is not renewed within 180 days, it will become an NPA. So that is another area we can look at. Of course, the solitary credits, we have already seen that in CCA. Going back to that stock statement, a stock statement is given by the banker, by the borrower in the month of April 2023, declaring stock as of 31st March 2023. Let us say 1.5 crores. Sometime in October or November or December, an audited financials is given where the stock is 1.1 crore. Have the branch even looked at these two statements and asked the borrower by sending him a letter, you have given 1.5 crores but your auditor has only certified 1.1 crore. Please explain the divergence between your stock statement and your audited financials. If they have sent letters looking at the financial statement, I am happy on one thing, at least they are doing the monitoring properly. But if they have not sent letters, then the first time when we point out only they are able to see this, then where is the monitoring? Question number 5 in the long form audit report is probably the biggest, largest question in terms of the number of processes. One of those questions is there a proper system of monitoring? If this is not monitoring, then what is monitoring? I will certainly report that in the long form audit. If the difference was 1.5 or 1.45, I will report. But if the difference is more than 5% of the total of the stock statement given on the 31st March, I would be well within my rights to recompute the drawing for this year based on the stock statement that is given during this year, taking the opening balance as the one certified by my fellow professionals, my colleagues, rather than by the borrower himself, and see whether the account will become an NPA during the year. We have done this. We have done it in several branches. It is not impossible. The problem is only one thing. It needs time. We need time. We need the guts to stand up to the banker. Banker will threaten first. Sir, I can assure you one thing, you cannot be removed from the panel for keep making an account NPA. As long as your decision is correct based on supports. But if you have read the ICA, RBI circulars and based on the circular, you have come to the conclusion account is NPA and you mark it as NPA, you cannot be removed from the panel. Not branch manager, he doesn't have the powers. Even the bank does not have the powers. The bank has a right to the Reserve Bank of India and seek their permission before they can remove a member branch auditor from the panel. And to remove RBI does not just because they ask, they don't say yes. They say, what is the reason for you to remove them? A reason where there is misbehavior or non-cooperation with the auditor. For example, let's say you are going to stay a bank audit appointment where it says start the audit on 2nd and finish by 10th. You go to the bank only on 10th and then give the report on 18th. Obviously, you need to be removed from the bank. But if you go to the bank on 2nd and instead of giving your report on 10th, you give it on 12th, they cannot remove it. Only thing is, in the situation like that, what I normally do is on the 8th itself, I tell them, I need 2 more days time. Heavens will not fall. They pressurize you into giving it. Sir, the date on which you should close your audit is backward. Again, I can tell you this because I was a part of the process of about 3 years in a bank course, it's about few years back, maybe 8-10 years back, but the process still continues. The board meeting is fixed for April 30th or May 2nd. If the board meeting is fixed for the date, then when should the agenda go to the board members? That means when should the account be signed off by the auditors? After which, beyond which, nothing can happen. From that date, how long will it take for the auditors to consolidate the all the branches and look at it? So head off with audit and the consolidation, how long will it take? Backward. We reach 15th of April, 16th of April. 15th is Sonona, branch auditor, 17th of April. So you have about 7 to 9 days, provided you plan your work properly, do it. There is no reason why it cannot be done. You don't fear anybody, don't do any favors. Sir, promotion boarding, sir. Transfer பண்ணி விட்டுருவாங்க சார். இதெல்லாம் என்னோட பிரச்சனைங்க. அதெல்லாம் அவரோட பிரச்சனை. There is a borrower who is working in the United States of America, software expert. He has taken a housing loan, 5 crore housing loan. Repayment over 20 years, 7 years is over. Promptly on the due date or even before the due date, the money hits the account. Everything well, good with the account. Sometime in January 2023, the company which hired him fired him. And since he was not on a green card or anything, he had to come back to India. He comes back to India, doesn't find a job. But he's good, qualified. He's gone and attended for a few interviews. He will get a job. Evidences point to the fact that he get a job. So in the month of May or June 23, he comes to the bank and says, look, I lost my job. I'm not in a position to pay you the monthly installments. Give me a moratorium period of 6 months because I now have an offer letter from one of the top companies in India where they've asked me to join by January 2024. Based on all these evidences and looking at his cash flow that will come from him, the bank grants him a moratorium of 9 months starting from April 23 to December 23. I am not at all unhappy with the situation. They have done a due diligence, they have looked at it, they have called for documents, they have given evidence and they have given him a moratorium period. It is a business decision taken by the bank which I have no right to question in my opinion. When a bank can give an unsecured loan, can they do this? It is well within their rights, they can do it. All I am telling the bank is, please downgrade assets since you have restructured it. The minute I use the word restructure, the branch manager will say, sir, I have not restructured the account at all, I only rephased it or rescheduled it. Unfortunately, these two words don't figure in the IRAC notes. Reschedulement or refacement of. So we need to understand what is restructuring. RBI says restructuring is one where the bank for economic, legal or any other reason gives to the borrower a concession that does not give to any other borrower. In the housing loan example, we look at education. People who finish their engineering in 2022, education loan says you must start repayment the minute you get a job or within 6 months of the complete loan, whichever is earlier. The normal standard rule. So if they are freed in June 2022, they should start repayment from December 23. Some 10,000 students have been given offer letter by HCL, Wipro, Infosys. But then in the paper, you keep reading in papers, no? They have been asked to join 6 months later because of slackness in the industry and whatever reason. Taking cognizance of this news report and request from various students who are well known, the bank says, for students who have got a job, for whom the repayment should start in December 2022, if they are able to produce the offer letter and proof, we will give them a moratorium of 6 more months or 9 more months. That is not restructuring. Although it is a concession given, it has been given to a class of borrowers and not to one individual. If it is given to an individual, it will amount to restructuring. If it is given to a group of borrowers, the class of borrowers, the category of borrowers, it will not amount to restructuring. So now let us look at RBI definition of restructuring. A grants to the borrower concession that the bank would not consider otherwise. For this American returned Indian, they gave him a concession. Granting the concession is not wrong. They have satisfied themselves, they have done a thorough appraisal, everything is right. But they have given a concession. They have to recognize the fact that they have given a concession. And that concession will downgrade the asset. And what do you mean by concessions? Modification or alteration. Or what are the what? Repayment period, repayment amount of installment, rate of interest. Not even one word or comma is mine, except I have split the sentence for a better understanding. This is the exact sentence that I have in the circular master circular. So in the example I gave you, if that is not restructuring, what is the use of this definition? About reschedulement, refacement, the word kandipa use not to confuse us. Please tell them, tell me, have you given him a concession or not? If you have given him a concession, it is amounts to restructuring. This is problem. I'm sorry, I'm slipping in the Tamil, I'm a little more comfortable with it, but I'll stick to English. The problem will arise not on a loan sanction at the zonal office or regional office or the head office, because officers working there understand restructuring much better than the officers at the branch level, in my experience. There are lots of housing loans and education loans sanctioned at the branch level at the discretion of the manager. This manager only when he becomes an AGM understands the concept of restructuring. Till then he does not understand. AGM he doesn't understand. It's a different ballgame. Till then he doesn't understand what is restructuring because he has not read through the circular. And the bank has not trained him. They are only training him to handle auditors, not comply with IRAC norms. So he won't, unless you give him this, he is not going to understand. My humble request to all of you, please look at education loans, housing loans thoroughly. If you have an education loan granted 8 years back, look at what the amount sanctioned was, what is the balance today, you will get a fairly decent idea whether the account will become an NPA or not. And then look at similarly housing loans. Okay. An account was restructured on the 15th of January 2023 and got upgraded on the 15th of January 2024. When can it be upgraded? An account which has been restructured was downgraded and can be upgraded only after satisfactory performance is observed in the account for a continuous period of 1 year. What do you mean by satisfactory performance? There should be no overdue whatsoever even for 1 day. That is what is satisfactory performance. Bank restructured it last year 15 January, this year 15 January they upgraded. They say that not even 1 day there is any due. If you look at it also, there might not have been overdue even for a day. But when does the date start? The date of 1 year, when does it start? Does it start on the date it was restructured or on a different date? RBI says the date will start on the date on which the first payment of installment or interest is due, whichever is later. On 15th of January, they restructured it. By the terms of restructuring, they might have given a 3 months moratorium for payment of interest and a 6 month moratorium for payment of installment, which means the first installment, the principal installment is due only in July. From that date, only 1 year will start. So, on restructuring account upgraded, now I cannot look at it unless I have the restructured sanction with me. If they have the restructured sanction and there is no moratorium given, then there is a possibility they could have upgraded it. Even a 1 month sanction, they cannot upgrade because it will be February sometime, not January. And after fixing the date, for the next 1 year period, there should not be any overdue even for a day. From my experience of bank audits for the last 3.5 decades, I can tell you very rarely do you have an account, that to a restructured account, without any overdue for even 1 day in a period of 3 or 60 days. So please look at restructuring. This is what I want to show you. Specified period means a period of 1 year from the commencement of the first payment of interest or principal, whichever is later. I have in the next couple of 10 slides or so project loans, mostly not applicable to us, but I still have it. I will say, ensure that it is circulated to you. So if you have a project note, please look at this and these are. Income recognition, accrual basis till it becomes NPA. After NPA, it is only on cash basis. All of us know this. Once an account becomes an NPA, it becomes substandard. From substandard, it will go down to doubtful, go to loss, and remain at loss for the rest of its life in the books of the bank. It is not necessary that an account, once it is classified as NPA, should only be a substandard account. Even on the date of classification, it can be a doubtful account or even a loss account. Norm plot, everything else being all right, there is no erosion of the value of security. The security that they stated is still available. All that happened, then the process is 1 year in substandard, doubtful, 3 years, how many years? 4 years in doubtful, and then loss. But if there is erosion of the value of security with more than 50%, it will become a doubtful asset even on day one. And if there is erosion of the value of security with more than 90%, it will become a loss account even on day one. There can also be cases when an account is substandard. Next year it goes to D1 category. But when it goes to D1 category, and after 6 months in D1 category, the erosion of the value of security is more than 90% on that day, it will be transferred to loss asset. So there are two ways how it travels. One, by a time period where there's nothing else wrong with the account, security and all is fine. It will travel by time basis. It will take a faster route if you look at the erosion of the value of security. If you do have a branch where you are looking at government guaranteed accounts, if the government guarantee given by the state government has been invoked and money is not received within a period of 90 days, the account will be classified as NPA, irrespective of the fact that the account has been guaranteed by state government. In central government, when it comes to central government guarantee, the Reserve Bank of India believes the central government a little more than they believe the state government. It says that as long as the Reserve Bank of India does not repudiate the claim, which means they don't say I won't pay, till that date is good. You can continue to keep it as standard, otherwise you'll have to downgrade it. Now, how do I know whether the state central government has repudiated the claim or not? The branch manager will tell me, sir, they have not repudiated the claim. He doesn't know. Central government would be doing, central government would go to write to that small branch manager? Never. They will only reply to the head office. Which means the person who has sanctioned the loan, the authority who sanctioned the loan, he is the one who has to give us a letter of representation, a specific letter of representation saying that it has not been repudiated. Otherwise, they are certainly reported in my. Who is responsible for provisioning? Branch, bank, you, branch manager? Who is responsible for provisioning? Is it the bank or the branch or the auditor? Auditor? Auditor is responsible? No, auditor is not responsible. Why is the auditor not responsible? Let's take a small example. I am doing the audit of a private limited company. Debtors 2 crores. I find about 40 lakhs of them are due for the past 5 years. No movement, no money coming in. Will I sign? Or will I ask the company to make a provision? I will ask the company to make a provision. If they don't make a provision, will qualify? Then it is my responsibility. You know, why am I saying it is not my responsibility?
Provisioning is not the auditor's responsibility. Provision is not meant there.
I am glad that you brought this up, because let's look at what RBI says. RBI says there is also the responsibility of auditors. Very clearly. We can talk about accounting standards, accounting conventions, accounting practices and all that for days together. But the regulator has said it is also your responsibility. Again, not one word is mine, exact copy of what the Reserve Bank says. I'm finished 2 minutes. Okay, no issues. I thought I was asked to close the session, but they said maybe the tea is not ready, so we have not 10-15 minutes time. We can talk about. So let's let's not forget this. It is our responsibility equally because the regulator says so. Having accepted the appointment, we can't go arguing accounting conventions. We have to follow what the system says. Clear on this? These are provisioning norms, just an indicator of what it means. Now, this is something I want to show. Substandard assets. Substandard asset normally 10%. What about the substandard asset where the security available at the time of sanction is less than 10% of both fund-based and non-fund-based put together? I have a CC account of 10 lakhs. I also have bank guarantee 5 lakhs sanction limits. Which means fund-based and non-fund-based put together is 15 lakhs facility for me. The security I have given the bank is only 1.25 lakhs. It is less than 10% of both fund-based and non-fund-based put together. If that account becomes substandard, then the provision made is 25% and not 10%. Okay. Doubtful asset, 100% of the unsecured portion plus 25, 40 or 100 depending on the year, whether it's D1, D2 or D3. Loss other is of course 100%. This is nothing other than ready reckoner. For the financial year 23-24, if the NPA date is before 1/4/2020, it must be D3 current year, 100%. If it is between 1/4/2020 to 31/3/2020, it should be 100% D2 current year, 100% is reduced ECC power and 40% of the secured portion. 1/4/2020 to 31/3/2023, D1 current year, 25% of the unsecured portion, 25% of the secured portion, 100% secured portion. And 1/4/23 to 31/3/2024, substandard current year, 10% or 20%. I will come to the fag end of my presentation. This is the master circular reference. Before I say thank you and quit, I want to take up one more thing which is not part of my presentation. I want to talk about capital adequacy. How many of us sign a capital adequacy understanding what we sign? Branch manager கேட்டா தெரியாது. சார் இதெல்லாம் சிஸ்டம்ல இருந்து வருது சார், எங்களுக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாது. The stock reply. Unfortunately, we also have not read the stock capital adequacy. But when I say we have not read the capital adequacy, I am not talking about theory part of it at all. When I was first appointed as Central Strategy Auditor, I went to the department which dealt with capital adequacy and said, look, tell me what is capital adequacy, tell me how it is computed. And they arranged a training program for the 6 joint auditors together. The DGM spoke eloquently, amazingly well. He was a master of the subject, so he spoke very well. Spoke for about 2 hours. Only problem is I did not understand a word of what he said. It went all above my head. I came out and said, I need to understand this because if I don't understand this, how will it do a Central Strategy Audit? So the first thing I looked at is I asked the bank to give me a capital adequacy statement. After observing it for 10 minutes, I found that 8 or 10 columns, the first 3 or 4 columns is what matters to me. The remaining columns don't matter to me at all because those are nothing but percentages, risk weights which are assigned based on RBI's circular. And it's an Excel, so it takes care of the last item of how much is the capital adequacy. What interested me was every loan ledger account was there, or a combination of few ledger accounts was there. After all, what is capital adequacy? Capital adequacy is nothing but a provision made for the risk associated with that loan account. So if you look at the narrative or the line items in the capital adequacy, you will find term loans. There will be a figure. That figure is nothing but the balance, the term loan account in the GL. Will it be more than the GL figure? No. Will it be equal? It won't even be equal. It will be less. It is less because RBI said you have to make a provision for capital adequacy only on the balance outstanding less any credit balances in the account. So if the man has a current account, term loan account, current account is 2 lakhs rupees lying. The balance of the term loan account is let's say 50 lakh. 50 lakh minus 2 lakhs is the risk for the bank on that day. Because 2 lakhs is already available. The risk is only 48 lakhs. So I make only 48 lakhs. Capital is only for 48 lakhs. This working should be available in the branch. It is available in the system. If you ask them to say how did this grouping come, they will be able to give you subgroupings. The 24th line in the capital adequacy statement will be term loan. In fact, the first line is not just term loans, it is term loans within brackets other than those restructured. The 25th line will be term loans within brackets restructured. The minute I see that, I understand that normal term loans carry a less risk than term loans have been restructured. Very simple. After all, it is restructured. Why is it restructured? Because you went through a financial problem. Therefore, the risk of the term loan is higher. That carries a higher weightage. Once I know that, and during the course of my audit, I have looked at term loans. I know that the branch has about 35 term loans, out of which 4 has been restructured during the year and 2 was restructured during the previous year, not upgraded ahead. Then the balance in those 6 accounts must figure in the 23rd line item, not in the first line item. This is not possible. Housing loan, if there is only one line item in the housing, in the capital adequacy statement of housing loans, my antenna will go up. Because today I know that every bank in the country has housing loans at teaser rates. What are teaser rates? You open the Hindu or Times of India, whichever newspaper read, day one, on one particular day, there's a big 7, just number 7, housing loans at 7% interest. Some bank's name. Small stock will be set to normal rates 2 years after sanction. RBI says you can give these loans. These are called teaser loans. RBI calls them teaser loans. They are teasing the customer to come to the bank. To attract the customers to the bank, they are giving a 7% rate today. 2 years after that, they go back to 10% or 10.5%, or whatever the rate is. RBI says, as long as it is 7%, these borrowers may have the wherewithal to pay the installment properly. But when it goes on 10.5%, will they have the wherewithal to pay it properly? I will say they have the wherewithal to pay it properly only after verifying the account, only after monitoring and reviewing the account for a period of 1 year from the time the interest rate is reset to normal rates and not reduced rates. Adhik risk jasti, normal risk kammi. Both of them should be classified separately in the capital adequacy statement. So if I understand the purpose of capital adequacy, it is a risk-based assessment. What are the kind of risks that they have? Are there risks which are more for one particular item and less for some other particular item? Among the same classification of loan item, they all will be listed separately. This is capital adequacy. Am I not in a position to do that? Second, this is one thing we should do. Second, bank guarantees. A statement which runs to 6 pages is given to us exactly 15 minutes before start signing. Our article is already left. We are the only people sitting at 10 o'clock in the night trying to sign off and get home. No time to look at it. Why is it they give it to us only on the last day? Why can't we tell them to give it to us on the first day? Can't we give them a list saying these are all I want? And keep junior most person in the audit team போட்டணும். ஒரு மணிக்கு ஒரு ஒன்று கேட்டுட்டே ரொம்ப பவ்யமா கேட்டு சண்டே போடாது கேட்டு. It runs to 6 pages, just 450 entries. Why I am stating this is, I'll tell you one thing before I go on to why I am stating this. If you look at the 450 entries, there are about 30 entries where the BG has expired 1.5 years back. Still continue to be in the BG statement. Should it not be reversed? Bank manager says, sir, the original bank guarantee has not been written to us. Yaar sonna original guarantee திரும்பி வரணும்னா அதெல்லாம் அந்த காலம். Gone are those days. Today, if there is a due date plus a grace period, after that the bank has the right to reverse it. It's over. Nobody can go to court on the bank guarantee. So I said, okay, sir, you do according to your practice, but I will add up all this and pass an MOC. MOC, the 3 alphabets in English spread terror in their minds. I tried telling him, look, If I pass this MOC, I'm actually doing a benefit to the bank. Because for this there is capital adequacy, risk jasthi, capital adequacy, provisioning jasthi aho. If I reduce that, you don't have to provide for these 36 line items which I'm removing, you don't have to make provision, which means your financial results will be better. And every branch of some auditors do this, it is a benefit to you. Sorry, MOC vanda. Can I look at this bank statement? Why I am very cautious these days about bank guarantees? Today frauds are happening on non-fund based accounts, not so much on fund based. Let's remember Nirav Modi, Punjab National Bank. After all, he did the entire scam of 10,000 crores and all was not because bank gave him 1 paisa, they gave him non-fund based facility. There are several contractors who build harbors, port trust, airports, for whom the CG facility might be 200 crores or 300 crores. LC facility and BG facility with 1,000 crores. Just imagine if they issued BG for 1,000 crores and the account becomes an NPA. The entire 1,000 crores will come and fall. As long as it's not funded, we think it is safe. It is not. And today the action must be on. In fact, we should be able to even look at with the kind of experience that we have in the field of finance. We should be able to look at the appraisal and say there's something wrong with the appraisal that's going on. We had a classic case in our office when we were doing audit of a branch 2 years back. Nothing to do with non-fund based, but more to do with the appraisal. It's very senior government, very senior official of a very well-run, almost a mini Ratna government company, wanted a housing loan. 57 years old. 15 years repayment. His son was also made part, his son was, salary statement was also taken. And based on the combination of his son and this man, the loan was sanctioned. As long as we looked at the appraisal, it looked right, but when it came to documentation, they had not made the son the part of a co-borrower. This man will be able to repay the loan based on the salary today. 3 years down the line, when he retires, his salary, his pension will be half of this or less. How will he repay the loan? Is it not bad appraisal? Could they not have made the son also a borrower? And for once we got tremendous amount of satisfaction because we made this point in the long form audit report, and even before we submitted the report, they had started the process of making the son a borrower, and by the time we finished the audit, we had left. But 2 days later, the agent of the bank called and said, "Sir, we've corrected it, we made it a borrower, thanks for showing us." The kind of professional satisfaction one can get is only in audit of banks and CAG audits. If I was to qualify something in a private limited company that I do, forget them removing me as audit next year, I won't even be audited this year. But in the case of banks and CAG, I can write what I want to write in my audit report as long as I am confident about what I am saying. If I am thorough in my circulars, if I am thorough in my accounting standards, I can write what I want to write. And that gives me the greatest satisfaction. Because most independent profession. I think the word independent practitioners reporting independent took it. I'm sure all of you agree with me. It's not that the appraisal only to me or only to you. All of us do the same thing. In a tax audit report, can we list out all payments made in excess of 10,000? So if that is the case, at least in this case, I am sure this is an account of the NPA. I am sure that this needs to be because I am sure that this is more serious. I pass an MOC to account to classify an account as substandard. Branch manager fights. There is a column in the NPA statement. Branch managers comment. Let them give the comment there. If the central statutory auditor wants to drop my comment and make it a standard performance, it is his funeral, not mine. And I can assure you, very rarely do central statutory auditors drop an account that you have recommended as NPA to a standard. Because the first question I will ask, our sonarla niye important. They won't do it unless there is something that we have missed out or there is some extra evidence available. Otherwise, they won't do it. So why are we worried about pleasing the manager, or worried about being removed from the panel? In my opinion, I'll end this with just this. In my opinion, I am meeting the branch manager for the first time in my life on the 2nd of April. On the 10th of April, I will be meeting for the last time in my life. Even if it so happened that on 12th of April, when I am going into a shopping mall and he also happens to be in the same city of Chennai, manager of Chennai branch, he also comes to the shopping mall. Even if I want to wish him good morning, he doesn't want to wish me good morning, he doesn't want to see me, he walks away, turns his face and walks away. Then why am I worried about it? Why am I doing him a favor by saying, okay sir, நான் அஞ்சில இந்த 3 மட்டும் NPA போடுறேன்? Why? Thank you very much for a very patient hearing. I hope you enjoyed that much for having that presentation.
For that bank guarantee, you said right 1.5 years back it has already got expired.
You didn't reverse it, sir. Bank guarantee itself is an off-balance sheet line item. That is a liability on both sides. You pass the entity to take it out. You pass the MOC. MOC ko renewal. You might also have an effect on your capital adequacy, because capital is a bank guarantee line item. That's what it is, capital adequacy. Similarly, when you classify an account to the NPA from standard to substandard, it's not just that MOC. Again, it will have an effect on capital adequacy, because there it has been classified as standard. As restructured or NPA account, three classification. So capital adequacy MOC nariya artha varum. இந்த ஆர்டர் எப்போது மட்டும் போட்டுருவேன். Unless the bank says you don't worry about it, அதுக்கு தான் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா வந்துரும் சில பேங்க் சொல்றான். அப்படிலாம் வேண்டாம். இல்ல நீங்க தான் கேபிட்டல்.
But what the bank says, they issue bank guarantee for government agencies, government undertakings. Though there is a claim period of 1 year from the expiry date. Even after that, they can.
Welcome back to the last technical session of today's one-day seminar on bank branch audit, challenges, practical issues, and audit automation. Sir, we have with us renowned faculty CA Rathinagiri sir from Shivakasi. Please give him a big round of applause. He will take us through audit process automation. CA Rathinagiri sir is a chartered accountant in practice in partnership firm with Mrs. Shanbagamurthy and Company Shivakasi. Sir is involved in software application development, one of the core team member and admin of www.hmgforum.com, HMG and open source Windows API for Harbor X-based language. Implementing ERP and decision support systems, developed Android apps and they are in Google Play Store. He is a faculty for Information Systems Audit course in ICI, ITT and Advanced ITT faculty of ICI. Presented papers in seminars with regard to Excel, Power Products, BA and Data Analytics. He is also coaching CA students since 2002. He has released Be Indian Excel template with many Lambda functions. He is also interested in 3D photography, fractals, writing Tamil poems, novels and articles. With this brief, I have great pleasure in presenting before you CAS Rathinagiri sir to handle the last technical session of today, audit process automation. May I now request CAB Madhavi to come forward and present a shawl, health bouquet and a memento to Rathinagiri sir. Thank you Madhavi ma'am, over to Rathinagiri sir.
So, good evening friends. How are you all? So, feel by Sagadam, Acharam up and down, Sala Vidit pain. So, if we add some weight, so slowly if you are adding more weight, what will happen? Axis. So, the axis will be gone. Likewise, since morning you have got lot. I don't want to push more. So, evening session and afternoon session is very difficult, especially not for the faculties, but for the audience. And the advantage for speaker is, what is the advantage for speaker? Before me, everybody has covered everything. So, whatever I am not covering is not a problem, because already people have covered. So, and so many seats will also be what? Vacant, also empty. So, those who are here, whether it is paid or this, You are going to be with me? Let us see. Okay. So, before entering into my session, how many of you want to see a small movie? Want to see a small video? Okay, so let us see. Okay. So, because they have given, what is the topic for me? Automation, right? Okay. So, let me go to, I think you may be seeing this website, okay? You know about YouTube? I hope so. So, this is about automation of Charlie Chaplin. Okay. So, this requires no music. This is the automation. Hope you might have seen this. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. How many people have seen it before in your life? Okay, for others, let us run this. Only 2 or 3 minutes only. Just watch. Okay. So IT team, BA team, analytics team, all these are getting ready for automation. Okay. Nobody knows what is happening. This is called robotic process automation. Okay, RBA. Stakeholders are watching it. Let us see when the auditor comes. This is 31st March. Three days we are doing audit. So the bankers are giving the files in text format. You have to restart. Sometimes you have to research the system and restart. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be completed. So this is nothing but garbage in, garbage out. If you give the garbage only, garbage will be coming out. Anyway friends, okay? So let us stop it. Actually, this is the state of GPT today, chat GPT. Anyway, so audit automation or any kind of automation, what's the purpose of automation means? Anything manually done, I don't want to do it. I want to use some technology to do it. So, I'm going to ask some questions so that you will not sleep. Okay. So, what is the Tamil word for technology? Tolilnutpam. Okay. So, if you see the meaning of that particular word, nutpam, what's meant by nutpam, friends? Actually, something minute. Okay. Something minute. Example, I'll say, you might have known about A battery, AA battery, AAA battery. Which is smaller, which is bigger?
A is smaller.
Triple A is smaller. Whereas the A is actually increasing. Okay? So, triple A means minute. Okay. Now now can you see? This is my keyboard today. Okay. How simple? Okay. How small? So when the technology is coming, the things will be getting smaller. Now, every organization today, I am not going to talk about bank audit. I will be talking about bank audit friends because still since morning you have talked about only what? IRAC and then income classification, income recognition, asset classification, so many things you have learned today. I want to talk how will you use maybe technology in bank audit or any audit. Apart from audit, let us say office automation also. Okay? So I am going to cover it. For example, if you want to write about, some students will be writing like this, na? Starting from tree, they will go to a cow. Like that, I am starting from automation of bank audit, but I go for even office automation also. Okay? Let us keep like that. Because only when you are automating your office, you can automate your audit process also. Okay? That's why it is. Right. So, I want to talk about this audit automation when we are talking about this AAA. I want to talk about this AAA. What is this AAA? Technology means something minute. So friends, today is any organization, forget about bankers, even the auditors also, is having a problem of VUCA. If you searching about VUCA, you will be having it. Anybody having the knowledge about VUCA? What is VUCA, friends? VUCA, V-U-C-A. What is V-U-C-A? Any organization is today facing a problem of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. That's VUCA. Now, if nothing is stable. Nothing is stable today. Always volatile and uncertain also. Now, for VUCA, there are 4 problems. V-U-C-A. We have 4 solutions also, like 4 tablets. What are those 4 tablets? Triple I, Triple A, Triple E, Triple D. So let me quickly tell about it. Triple A stands for any organization, if it is taking this tablet, it may work. Okay? Even for our auditor's office also. Okay? So Triple A stands for automation, analytics, artificial intelligence. Okay? AAA stands for what? Automation, that's what today's topic is about. Analytics and then AI, artificial intelligence. Now Triple I stands for what? Information, innovation, improvement. Any organization, if it is innovating, if it is improving its process, it can survive in today's world. What is Triple E? Everybody knows about it. Economically you have to do any process. Efficiently you have to do any process, effectively you have to do any process. Economy, efficiency, effectiveness. What about Triple D, friends? Don't take any gut feeling decision. Sir was telling, okay, Mogatta paathu enna seiyapodadhu. Ivar enna pidikala audit pannu. Appala sollapodadhu. Instead of that, data driven decision making. How to use the decision? What kind of decision making you should do? Data driven. Okay. So data driven decision making do. So DDD, AAA, IAA, EEE. 4 problems, 4 solutions. Let us come to today's topic is about automation, but I want to touch upon analytics also, very important. Now, see, when I want to automate, technology is growing, okay? Day by day it is growing. Now friends, people are telling about software. Software you got to update. But in my opinion, 3 things to be updated. 3 things should be updated. What are the 3 things? First of all, hardware. First of all, hardware. If you are having one system in your office, you should allot 20,000 rupees every year as a budget for IT. Okay, if you are having one system, if you are having 4 systems, how much you have to allot? 80,000 rupees. Okay, per system, how much you have to allot, friends? 20,000 rupees. If you are allotting, then what will happen? Every 4th year, you can update one system. Okay, so that means if you are using a system which is older than 2020, any system, that means what? You are outdated. First of all, in the hardware part. Apramla pass edukku varanum? Software. Okay. So hardware should be first updated, and then software. Okay. Because if you are pulling an aeroplane by a cycle, what will happen? Windows 11 is better. Windows 11 is a plane. But if you are pulling it by a cycle, what will happen? So your hardware should be first updated with the minimum 32 GB RAM. If you are not having, I am so sorry, friends. So minimum 32 GB RAM, i7, 12th edition, 12th generation, octa-core, 16 threads. This is minimum configuration. These are all what? Minimum configuration you should have. If you are not having that, then for one small operation, if it takes instead of 10 seconds, 20 seconds, that particular operation 10 seconds you are wasting. Okay? If you are adding all these seconds in your entire life or entire year, you can calculate that your time is so important. Can you see that? So click of a button, sir. Click panna varnu sir. Tally or whatever it is. If it is taking some time, that is a problem in your system. Okay? Hardware, there is a problem. Today's hardware products are devices are so powerful. Okay? Graphical processor users, GPUs are there. Okay? If you are not installing GPU, what will happen? AI is also having a problem. Data set, if you are importing, that's a problem. So try to get the latest system. So just I am going to ask you. I hope you are having mobile phones. Okay? When you go by train or bus, today what are we can't see anybody in eye contact. Have you seen that? Today there is no eye contact. Everybody is seeing only what? Mobile phone. So their eye contact is different places. But I am just asking you, what is your Android version? I am just asking you, what is your Android version, sir?
Android 14.
Android 14, sir. For eating PUBG and SUBG and playing PUBG, he is having what is the version? Android version 14. But Excel version, sir? 2007. 2010. Hardware எப்பொழுது sir? அது dual core i3 எல்லாம் எப்படி சார் work out? Not work out. So we are actually upgrading our mobile phones for doing what? For entertainment. But 8 hours we are sitting in office, but you are not updating means what? So first of all, what you have to be updated? Hardware. Okay. How many of you are having 4K monitor in your office? 4K monitor. Sir, only is raising his hand. Only 1%. What is the advantage, sir? You are having?
Viewing.
Okay. Visual. Yes.
It is convenient for their eyes.
Not only convenient. You will be having an empty number of space. Huge space. Excel, if you open, it will go up to Z. See, you will be amazed. You will be seeing like this. And during some time, we can see YouTube videos also.
No such time available.
No such time is available for me. Time is also not available for me to entertain. But the point is, friends, if you are spending just 5,000 to maybe 3,000 to 5,000 more, and get the 4K monitor and then work with it, then you will see the difference. So if you are not doing it, then you are missing the bus. Hardware side based as the bus. Next one is software. Okay. So software in the sense, Office 365. இப்போதான் வினோத் கதார் சார் சொல்லிட்டு போயிருக்காரு. நான் இன்னொரு என்ன செய்ய போறதில்லை. I don't want to say again. In audit itself, IT is there. Audit. IT is there. In ICA itself, AI is there. 50% is AI. So you cannot omit what? IT and AI. So information technology is more than 50%, at least up to 80% of our profession is only for computers only. So that is why you go to know about what? Software. What kind of software I go to install? And what are the kinds of software products I should know? Friends, either you learn technology or you employ a person who knows technology. But you cannot get a person who knows about technology today, because he will be going for some other place. Okay? So the ultimate point is you have to learn technology only. See myself. If I can learn, definitely you can learn. There's no doubt about it. Right. So software, if you want to know about what are the kinds of software I am using in my office for automation, friends. Python. Not Python. Python. So how many of you have at least installed Python in your office, in your system? One person is raising. Okay. So until you enter into that, you will be thinking, this is not for me. This is not the cup of tea for me. Okay? But once you have started it, because you might have seen Wikipedia. What is the advantage of Wikipedia, friends? What is the advantage of Wikipedia?
Information in one page of.
It is the collective intelligence of the entire humankind. Collective intelligence of the entire humankind. Like that, collective intelligence of the entire development is Python. Okay? Today's computer language to the highest level. Okay? So lakhs of libraries are available. You need not even worry about it. No coding, low coding. Today's concept is what? No coding, low coding. So start learning Python first. 24 hours you can learn. It's not that much hard. Definitely you can do it. So the point is you have to start it. That's all. Okay. Entirely open source, community developed, no piracy, nothing is there. You download, start using it. You are starting from Facebook, starting from all the banks, every organization is using Python. Google is using Python. YouTube is using Python. Every organization is using Python, why not you? You may be thinking, I am not a developer. You need not be a developer to use Python. That's the point, okay? Friends, amazing, okay? Amazing. Anyway, so start using it, enjoy it. That's the point. So, every day, spend some 10 minutes per day. Then see yourself after 3 months. Then you'll be thinking, oh my God, I know so many things. Okay? So, hardware you have updated, software like Office 365 must. There is no doubt about it. Okay? MS Office 365 must. Anyway, so how many of you are having it? Let us make a small survey here. Office 365 I am using it, sir. Okay, very good. So those who have raised their hands, I want to ask this question. In Excel, what is the use of, when you are typing a formula, what is the use of F4 key?
Repeating the action.
Typing the formula. We look up, we have opened the formula and then pressing F4 key. What is the purpose?
Repeat action. No, dollar symbol.
Dollar symbol. What is the purpose of dollar symbol?
Increasing the
Absolute reference. Relative reference. Absolute reference. Mixed referencing. Right? Dollar symbol. So how many of you are using dollar symbol in your office? In your Excel? I am using, sir. Raise your hands. Let us see. Okay, these many people. If you are using dollar symbol in your Excel, then you are in there 2000. If you are using dollar symbol in your office, Excel, you are in there 2000. Today we are not using it. There is no dollar symbol. Control Shift down arrow, right arrow. Control Shift down arrow, right arrow. Select the range. If you are using it, you are in which year? 2000. See friends, 2019 onwards, see that is a problem of Excel only. Okay? Until 2019, nothing was changed. Only colors will be changed. Tool buttons will be changed. That's all. Okay? Excel, nothing, no much of changes. Okay? Since Lotus 123 to MS Excel, in their 95, since 95 to 2019 friends, not much of changes. But 2016, 19, 20, 21 Office 365, vibrant changes, okay? Fundamental changes happened. Radical changes happened. Revolution happened. 3 revolutions happened. First revolution, second revolution, third revolution. If you are not even knowing about these 3 revolutions, still using only F4 key, then what can I do, friends? So, even after investing in Office 365, if you are not utilizing it properly, then there is no purpose of investment. So, that's why, friends, 3 revolutions happened. What are those 3 revolutions? Let me try to say, and my humble request, in the, before this 5:30, we cannot cover everything. As Vinod Kadar sir was going through Power Query. So it is just like an introduction of Power Query. Just like an introduction, okay? Once you have started using it, nobody can teach you. It is only by practice, okay? You have to start doing it. That's it. So if I can do it, we can't do it. This is the question you usually ask. Okay, software part I am going to complete. First one is we have to update what? Office 365. I am not an agent of Microsoft. They are not going to give me any commission at all. But I want to say, family edition, it is about 6,200 rupees. 5 persons we can share. So every person is having 1,000 rupees only per year. And that 1,000 rupees you can install in 5 devices. So the cost of one device, Office system, comes to 200 rupees. 200 rupees you will be spending even for one day cinema theatre. That much can't you invest? Ask yourself this question. So, இதுக்கு மேல எப்படி சார் சீப்பா கொண்டு வருவாங்க? அதுக்கு மேல கொண்டு வரதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இல்லை. ஃப்ரீயா தான் கொடுக்கணும். So that's why try to get it. Otherwise, WPS is also there. WPS is also having some aspects, but it's not that much powerful like MS Excel. So, if you want me to talk about Excel, friends, latest Excel, what happened in the Office 365? It will take 4 days of a course. 4 days of a course is required, okay? Because fundamental changes happened. No F4 key, no control shift down arrow, right arrow. Have you used Control C, Control V? What is the purpose of it? That's not even done there, okay? Dragging, no dragging. Double clicking, no double clicking. Nothing happened there. Totally automated. Automating the entire office, auditor's office. It will take 4 days course. Either you learn to some course and then learn it. YouTube videos are there. I will try to share it. Maybe at the end of the session, I will try to share it, friends. So, in my opinion, every chartered accountant's office must be started using Power Query 2 years before. If you have not started using it even today, then you are in which year? 2022 only. எப்போ நீங்க 2024 வர போறீங்கன்னா தெரியல. Every office should be using it. Now friends, let me talk about the audit automation. Okay? Bank audit also let us touch. So when we go to bank audit, what we are fighting for, or we are fighting for only what? Time only the time. Manager is also thinking about what? 2 days. 24 hours. And all போனதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகுது? 2 days அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகுது? ஒன்றும் ஆகுது. Nothing is going to happen. Like that, everybody is thinking. So, my humble request, friends, you are not going to pull the data. You are not the single person going into the bank audit, right? No single person is going to audit. So, you should have an audit team. As Vadivel says, what you have to do? எதையும் என்ன செய்யணும்? பிளான் பண்ணி செய்யணும். சும்மா வந்து நம்ம வந்துட்டு போவோம் நீங்கள் நாளை காலையில் பேங்க் ஆடி போயிடுவோம் எல்லாம் வந்துடு அப்படி கிடையாது. இட் இஸ் நாட் த வே ஆஃப் டூயிங் இட். ஸோ யூ ஆர் தி ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி டு கெட் த டேட்டா ஃப்ரம் தி சிஸ்டம். 2 or 3 people should be allocated according to the bank's size. 3 people should be allotted. They should be a master in Power Query. No other system, no split the text, delimited text. Vinod Kadar sir சொன்னார் பாருங்க, அதெல்லாம் மறந்துங்க, அதெல்லாம் பழசு. விட்டுருங்க. Don't see that way. ஆனால் கடைசியாக சொன்னார் பாருங்க, அதை எடுத்துக்கலாம். பவர் query, you try to use it. Okay. You should not or you need not learn it. At least your assistant should learn it. So, as an auditor, as a doctor, if I am a doctor, will I go to pull the blood and see what is the positive or B positive or what is the sugar level like that? As a doctor I will see, or I will send to the lab and then see it. I will use some other experts to do it. See, if you read the auditing paper, friends, I am going to remind the audit paper. Okay? It says, if you go to the ICA audit paper, there it mentions like this. Auditor should not spend his effective time on operational matters. I am not going to, or I should not be doing the downloading the file, converting to Excel to text to Excel. இதெல்லாம் யார் வேலை கிடையாது. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம வேலையை இருக்கக்கூடாது. நம்ம எதுக்கு போய் பிளட் எடுக்கணும்? நம்ம வந்து பிளட்டை கொடுத்து நமக்கு ரிசல்ட் தான் நமக்கு. So that's why I am saying there should be a team to do it. Plan it accordingly. Go there. All the files night 10 மணிக்கு எங்க இருக்கணும்? Hotel room night 10 o'clock, every data should be in your system if it is possible. Otherwise you can sit in the system and then do it also, not a problem. But if you can get the data, definitely 10 o'clock you should sit. 10 to 1 that night, data should tell a story to you. Just to see the data first. Data will tell us. That is the concept of what? Next time coming. So first one is what you have to update? Hardware, then software, then third one is that logic. What you have to update? Logic. Problems are new, solutions are also new. So hardware மட்டும் update பண்ணி பிரயோஜனம் இல்லை, software update பண்ணி பிரயோஜனம் இல்லை. எது update பண்ணணும்? Logic. What kind of audit logic you want to use it? Okay. So previously data processing, am I boring? Okay, so previously data processing was very hard. Processing the data itself is very hard. What is processing of data? Recording, classifying, sorting, summarizing, reporting. That itself is very hard. Okay? Sorting the data, classifying the data, filtering the data, all these are very hard. But today tools are very simple. Okay? Even crores of record system can easily sort it. Sorting logic, sorting algorithms are really great today. So they have updated that particular data processing area is good. Today any data can be easily processed, reports can be just like that given. Even for the entire bank also, one day, 1 minute you can get the data. So data can be processed. Then what was the problem? Next came the problem of data analysis. How to analyze the data? That is where Excel was there. Excel, I am saying, is there or was there? Was there. Past tense I am saying. Okay. So for using analysis we are doing using Excel. But the problem of Excel is every time I have to put the data and then I have to see the formula. See, whenever you are writing any formula, friends, who will read that formula? If you are writing the formula, every formula Excel will give what? One result. Whether that result is right or wrong, who knows? Nobody knows. Okay? Whatever the formula I am writing is the right formula, right? Isn't it? That's how we feel. ஒரு ஃபார்முலா எழுதுறோம், ரிசல்ட் வருது, அதான் சார் ரைட்டு, அவ்வளோதான், அதான் ஆன்சர். ஸோ ட்ரை டு திங்க் அபவுட் இட். ரைட். ஸோ நோ டெஸ்டிங் எதுவுமே பண்ணுறதில்ல, சும்மா ஜஸ்ட் லைக் தட் ஃபார்முலா எழுத வேண்டியது, வந்துச்சா ரைட், ஏதோ ஒரு ஆன்சர் வருது, ரைட், இன்னைக்கு வேலையை முடிச்சிட்டோமா முடிச்சிட்டோம். 2 நாள் 1 மாதம் கழிச்சு தான் பார்ப்போம். ஆஃப்டர் 1 month when you are seeing the file, you will be thinking instead of 10,000 rupees refund, we have paid 10,000 rupees. If the client doesn't see, not a problem. Anyway, income tax officer is very happy. Anyway, right. So logic also you go to update. So previously data processing was a very big problem. Then came data analysis. Today analysis is not a very big problem. Pivot table is there, just like that. Okay, you can put columns to row, rows to columns, sum, count, and all go to the past. Whatever you want to do. So then came, friends, the period of analytics. Period of analytics. புதுசா ஒரு வார்த்தை கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. இப்போ என்ன வார்த்தை? Analytics. What is that? I was saying AAA. What are the AAA? Automation, Analytics, artificial intelligence. So we know about automation, that's what I want to talk about it. But what about the logic? The logic is analytics. So learn the concept of analytics. Learn the concept of analytics. Data storytelling. These words please note and then go and search it today. What is the word? Data storytelling. Data is telling you stories. You have to actually open your eyes, open your ears and see what is the data telling. What is the data? Storytelling. So, my humble request with folded hands. Analytics, analysis, what is the difference? Go and search about it. Today I am giving you some homeworks. Okay? Analysis, analytics, what is the difference? How people are talking about it? What is the concept they are talking about? Okay? Search about it. Then you will be amazed. Oh my goodness. Oh, please give me data. Like that you will say. What you will say? Please give me data, boss. Sir, boss. No, let us see. Okay. So, data, when it starts telling story, friends, concept of data visualization, infographics, you'll be amazed. Okay. Once you have started seeing data telling stories, then see, during the bank audit time, whether you are getting this time or not, okay? But 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, if you are sitting, definitely. But before that, you should be able to know about what is analytics, what is descriptive data analytics, DDA. There are 6 DDAs. There are 6 kinds of data analytics. Descriptive data analytics, diagnostic data analytics, predictive data analytics, prescriptive data analytics, exploratory data analytics, confirmatory data analytics, text analytics. Here is everything. All these 7, we have the tools in Excel today. So, Excel became from analysis Excel to analytics Excel. Today's Excel is analytical Excel. If you are not learning that, friends, if you are still using the old concept of Excel, you are in the analysis Excel, not in the analytical Excel. So come to data analytics. If you are searching it in the internet about what is analytics and all, there is no much of differences with reference to Oxford Dictionary. But last 10 years in the field of computer science, data analytics is entirely different, data analysis is entirely different. People are giving so much of differences between what is analysis, what is analytics. Analytics is one level up to. So, do you want to know what is analysis, what is analytics, friends? Okay, I will give it in a single sentence. I am going to give it in a single sentence. This will not be available anywhere in the internet because for everyone it is different. For example, my experience is different from your experience. Everybody's experience is different. From my point of view, I am going to say what is analytics, what is analysis. Okay? So, in my opinion, what is analysis is you know what you are seeing and you are seeing. Then what is analytics? You don't know what you are seeing and you are seeing. So, if you know what you are seeing and you are seeing is called what? Analysis. You don't know what you are seeing and you are seeing is called analytics. Let me give a simple example. Current ratio, what is the formula? Current asset divided by current liabilities. You know what is the formula. You know what is it is calculating. I know about what is 2:1. I am verifying this balance sheet what it is. Okay. I know what I am seeing and I am seeing. What am I doing now? Ratio analysis. This is called what? Analysis. Then what is analytics? I don't know what I am seeing. For example, somebody is giving me a book. In that book, is there any fraud? I don't know. Is there any formula to find a fraud? No. You have to find a fraud. You have to find a formula by yourself. I don't know what am I seeing, but I am seeing. So then you are starting for what? Analytical review. Starting from ratio analysis, which somebody had taught you to calculate, but now you are going to one step ahead and then using your creativity, imagination, maybe your analytical skills, these many years of audit experience, guts, so many things put together of everything of you, then you are finding something. That is called what? Analytics. If somebody is inventing something in physical world, we call them as scientist. If you are inventing the same in the data, you become data scientist. Everybody in this hall is a data scientist, but you are not recognizing it. That is the problem. Okay. So whenever you are identifying something you have not seen, but you are seeing, that is nothing but what? You are inventing something out of your creativity, imagination, your maybe whatever it is. Okay, so logic is analytical skills. So let me try to include why we need to use the computers today. Why 100% verification is possible today. Previously we were talking about only sampling, audit sampling and all, but today it is not a point. Okay, 100% verification people are talking. RPA, robotic process automation and all. So 100%, how is it possible? Even for a doctor, suppose a doctor is about 60 years he is doing his business, okay? 60 years. Every day he is seeing 40 x-rays. Let us assume that he is seeing 40 x-rays in his life every day. So 60 years, 300 days, 40 x-rays. It comes to maybe 7,20,000 x-rays he can see as a doctor. Okay? But a computer today, friends, with artificial intelligence, it can go through all the x-rays taken in the entire world in 1 hour. Humanly impossible. Okay? So that is why we need what? Artificial intelligence also. We can use properly artificial intelligence to do that. And 100% verification is possible because of today's tools. So today's tools are, you can give the conditions and you are getting whatever the exceptions you want to get, like that. Let me give a small demo also, how we are doing it and all. Okay, so let us come to the last part. What's the time, sir? Time is already 5. 5:10. Oh my God, time is running short. Okay. So, where were we?
Logic.
Okay. That data analytics we are talking about. And I want to talk about artificial intelligence also. Okay. How many of you have started using GPT? ChatGPT I am using, sir, regularly. Okay. So, what is the difficulty you are facing using ChatGPT? Which version you are using? How many of you are using 4 turbo? I am the only one. Oh my God. Why not, sir? Because it is paid. It should not be like that. Anyway, right. Anyway, so today you have come to this classroom. I am going to give you one small, what I can say, a shortcut to get ChatGPT 4. So there are so many bots created by commercial people in Telegram channel. How many of you are in Telegram? Some people may be in Telegram, many people are there. Okay. So I will be showing you, please see this, whether it is coming now. Okay. Not getting connected. Yes. So let me try to zoom in. So this is my ChatGPT 4.0, okay, using Telegram bot. So the cost is like this, friends. Okay? For example, let me go to menu and see the premium cost. Okay? It is saying like this. This is for premium version and this is for starter. I am using starter version. So ChatGPT 3.5 unlimited questions you can ask. ChatGPT 4 25 messages per day you can ask. And you can create some 25 images per day also. For example, let me ask like this. Okay? So I am going to ask this question. Okay, this is about $7 only per month. Okay. Whereas ChatGPT 4 is how much? $20 per month. It is only $7. It's a bot of bot people have created. Think about it. Okay. This bot will ask that bot, and that will give the answer. Okay. So according to your premium, you can get $3. From $3, it is getting started. Okay. So now let me ask. See, in ChatGPT, the problem is it is only text. But I want to create an image, a logo like this. Okay. So let me try to say I want to create an image of an Indian girl, something like that I am typing. Okay. So just I am typing an Indian girl, and let us ask Midjourney, expand my imagination. It will create a prompt itself. Okay. A young Indian girl with long flowing black hair, like that it will create the prompt. I will not create the prompt. So like this, friends, so many things happening in AI. Okay? So it's not that I cannot just like that demonstrate and ask. If I go through the previous various chats, you will be amazed. Okay? Because today we got one slave. Atima sikirga. Vache na seno. Vache seno. So yeah, எத்தனை தடவை என்கிட்ட அப்பாலஜி வாங்கிருப்பான்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க ChatGPT? How many times it has got apology? So many times. Okay, please apologize. I am living like this, living like that. Okay. So friends, because today's ChatGPT is like what? Like Charlie Chaplin's this machine only. It is started learning. So as you give more, it will learn more. So I am going to give you one small technique, or how to use this ChatGPT also. Okay. So many people might have been given. Okay. So I am also giving 6 points you have to consider first. Before giving any prompt, 6 points please consider. Then you see the result. You will be amazed. Okay. So what are the 6 points? First of all, number 1, task. You have to give a proper task. Summa solladhu. Enna venum solra task. Then context. Which context you are asking? I want to give a reply to High Court. Something like that. Okay. What is the task? What is the context you are asking? Okay. Number 3, tone. Which tone? Subordinate to superior, superior to subordinate, or friendly? 4, format. Which format you want? I want a HTML table. I want a Python code. I want Excel formula. So which format you want? Okay. What are the things I have told earlier? Task, context, tone, format. Another 2 are example. You just give an example. In the Mariana formula, like that. Okay? You can say a formula sending a mail, like that. Okay? A small VBA coding, please give me, like this, like that. You can say example. So what is the last one? Okay, what are the things I have done? Task, format, tone, context, role. What is the role? Am I a programmer? Am I a chartered accountant? Which role you are taking? Okay, so the tone here says what? A document I wanted. An official version of this I want. Okay, like that. So these are all very, very important, friends. Once you understand these 6 things, and how many of you have got a profile in GPT? You have to give a profile. I am 50 years old. I have 2 children. I am a chartered accountant. I have studied in this place, in India, South India. These are all the food habits of me. Everything you tell. In ChatGPT profile, you have to put it. Then you see the difference. Okay? So system understands you and then tell the difference. So that is the concept of what? How to use it properly. See the difference. And ChatGPT 3.5 is this much. ChatGPT 4 is this much. So that's why you have to go for what? Not 3.5. 3.5 is 21 version. It is very, very small. Okay? Let me try to show you. Is it possible? Let me try to see. Okay? There is a ChatGPT helper. Okay, somewhere it will be there. Okay, since you are knowing about this, you can also search about it. Let me try to search about this GPT guide. So this is GPT 3, this is GPT 4. That is the difference of knowledge. So that is why start using what? 4. See the difference, then you will understand. Oh my God, எவ்வளவு சார் இருக்கு 3.5க்கும் 4க்கும் இவ்வளவு difference வந்திருக்குதா? Yes. So systems are learning. Systems are started learning. So try to use the latest technology. Otherwise, if you are using the technology for only free உண்டானது அது அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்குங்க. ஸோ நம்ம தான் இலவசமாக பின்னால கொடுத்தா கூட என்ன செய்வோம், பிடிச்சிவோம். அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி தான் என்ன இருக்கும், அது இருக்கும். அதோட கண்டென்ட், அதோட குவாலிட்டி. Definitely it will be like that only. See the difference. Okay. And what is the expansion for GPT friends? Anyone?
Generated progress. Generated progressive trainer.
No. What's the, see, you have started using GPT. If somebody is asking what is GPT, you should say what? Yeah, because as chartered accountants, the society is expecting what? Society is expecting chartered accountants are knowing something about everything and everything about something. We are not knowing it, but people are thinking like that. நீ CA முடிச்சிருக்க, உனக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியும், நீ போய் சொல்ற, தெரிஞ்சிட்டே போய் சொல்ற. So it is expected out of it. Okay? So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. What is your name, sir? See, before asking this question, what is your name, he was not prepared with the answer. After asking the question only, he had generated. That's why the answer is always generative, not from any website. If you are asking the same question to me, it is Rathinagiri. To him it is Vishnu. Like that only the answer will also come from GPT. It is always generative. That's why the first word is generative. What is pre-trained? The system says I am already trained. Please give me, please ask any question. Like that it says, ask a question. So it is a pre-trained transformer. What is transformer? Transformer is nothing but what? The algorithm used. NLP algorithm, natural language processing algorithm used in ChatGPT is transformer. Anyway, so we need not worry about that, but how it works we must know. How our neural network is working, that's how it is also working. For example, if a client is asking a question, you will never say what? I don't know. You will say what? ஏதோ ஒரு ஆன்சர் கொடுத்தோம்ல, அதை மாதிரி தான் ChatGPT ரொம்ப தைரியமா 100% கான்ஃபிடென்ட்டோட சொல்லுவாங்க. இது பாரதியார் எழுதுனதுதான் அடிச்சு சத்தி. பாரதியார்னா யாருன்னே தெரியாது, இருந்தாலும் சொல்லும். That's what this is. Hallucination. That's what they are saying, na? Digital hallucination. It will never say I don't know this answer. Yes, some answer will be given. அதை ஊண்டி சொல்லுவாங்க, இதுதான் கரெக்ட். நீ இந்த இடத்துல தப்பு பண்ணிருக்கிற, அப்பாலஜி. ஆமா தப்பு பண்ணிட்டேன், நான் இப்ப இப்படி மாத்தி சொல்றேன், இதுவும் தப்பு தானே, சாரி இப்படி எத்தனை இடம் என் ரசம் ஆயிடுது. So that is the concept of what? ChatGPT. Today it is learning. You should not use it for any purpose. We are using ChatGPT for ChatGPT to learn as of now. We are not using it for our purpose, but only when you are asking it is learning. After that we can use it. That is the reason. Okay. So I have created Python libraries using ChatGPT. It doesn't mean that we should not use it, but the point is you have to ask a proper question. For asking the question you should know. Unless otherwise you know the answer. See, for example, sir, in cars we are having some 40 years back we were having steering. Now also we are having steering. But the steering is now being transferred to what? Power steering. Steering எனக்கு எப்படி ஓட்டலாம்னு தெரியலனா, எனக்கு steering இருந்தா power steering இருந்தா என்ன பாஸ். So unless otherwise you know how to operate this steering, whether it is steering or power steering is not a problem. So that is why if you want to ask the question anything to ChatGPT, you must be already knowing the answer. இதுக்கு நான் என்ன செய்யாம இருக்கலாம், கேட்காமல இருக்கலாம்னு தோணுதுல. ஆனா கேட்டிங்கன்னா அதோட பெனிஃபிட் என்ன அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஏதாவது some points you might have missed, that will be shown. Audit plan, அதெல்லாம் பார்த்துருக்கீங்க. Audit procedures, please give me. So this entire RTA circular, please read and then tell me the content in 200 words. It will tell. Right? Within 100 words you tell. That's total PDF படிச்சிட்டு நான் சொல்றேன். 2 minutes you will tell. So these things are not possible. Okay. for an assistant it is not possible. Okay? It is like a tholan சொல்லலாம், assistant சொல்லலாம், admin சொல்லலாம், என்னனாலும் சொல்ல வேண்டியதான். ஒழுங்கா வேலை வாங்கணும். அதான் இருக்கு. Okay friends, with regard to audit automation, I want to conclude because time is very short. Maybe in another course like that we have to learn. This one is, see, when we are talking about automation or any kind of technology for such matter, friends, my humble request, you should have brought laptop now. Without computers, if I say anything, அதனால உங்களுக்கு என்ன சார் பிரயோஜனம்? அங்க போய் என்ன தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு? அங்க போய் என்ன பாப்பீங்க? ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. அப்படியே இங்கே பார்க்கும்போது நல்லா இருக்கு. ரைட், சூப்பர்ல கிளாஸ் நல்லா இருந்துச்சு. அப்புறம் அவ்வளோதான். So that's why friends, any technology seminar, you should be coming with hands-on training only. சிஸ்டத்தை எடுத்து வச்சுட்டு சார் சொல்லுங்க சார் நானும் பார்ப்பேன். அப்படி சொன்னால் மட்டும்தான் நம்ம படிக்க முடியும். Otherwise we cannot learn. So it should be a hands-on training only. I also suggest our institute that always it should be what? Hands-on training. Otherwise don't put the technology seminars. Otherwise it will be like this only. Some discourse that may not be sometimes useful. Okay, maybe useful or not that you would say, but point is like this only. பார்க்கும்போது நல்லா தான் தெரியும், பட் அதை வந்து எவ்வளோ யூஸ் பண்ண போகிறோங்கிறது தெரியாது. Right. So I am going to tell about these 3 revolutions happened in Excel because we have not much time. So 3 revolutions what happened in Excel I will tell. My humble request, please go and learn this friends. Somewhere I will tell some of the links also. Okay. So what are those 3 revolutions? Number 1, dynamic array. Dynamic array. So what is this dynamic array? Let me try to show it to you. Example. Hope you can see my Excel friends. So suppose I am typing this. Okay, please see this. So what I have entered?
Text and number.
Some roll numbers. It is actually roll number, name, mark 1, mark 2, something like that I have typed. You may be asking which idiot will enter the data like this. Usually we will see the data in what form? In a table form. But you are seeing a PDF file. You are very eagerly trying to copy it. Yes, it is working. You are saying Control C and then paste it in Excel. Only if you are seeing like this, friends. You might have seen like this now. Now, this is why I am saying today's problem is having today's solutions also. Okay. So let me show you this formula, friends. See the difference. Okay. So the formula I am going to type is like this: equal to wrap rows. So wrap rows is a new function where I want to say I want to wrap all these rows, comma 4 columns. Okay. Simple formula today. If you don't know the wrap rows, so friends, that's why I am saying the concept of this blue color border. What is this blue color border? Dynamic array. So dynamic array. Right. So number 1 is dynamic array. Because of this dynamic array, how automation happens? How automation happens? Let me try to explain. Okay. So morning, இந்த ஒரே நாள் 2 எக்ஸல் கிளாஸ் வேற வினோத் கோத்தாரி சார் வேற நடத்திருக்காரு. அவர் சொன்னாத இப்ப நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டியது சொல்றாரு. Table features of Excel you might have started using. My humble request, start using what? Table using, not Power Query. First of all, which one? Table features of Excel. Okay. So please here. I go to an Excel file. Let me go to the right. So I will try to share these files with you, friends. maybe if we have time. So this is also an audit related one only, agricultural loan, something like that. Let me open case study too, because that is having proper heading and all. So, whenever you are using, what is the shortcut key for tables? Control T. When you are pressing Control T, which color will come first? Tables? Blue color. Ana enak mata enak color irukku. Yeah? Why? Why green color? Why not blue color? You may be thinking, color la enna pass irukku? Adu blue color ah irundha enna? Green color ah irundha? Blue color means table data is from inside. Green color means table data is from external source. Okay. So green color means what? The data is coming from external source. Please see here. If I go to, let me try to zoom it. Okay. Hope you can see this. So if I go to this data, sorry, not data, table design, you can see a new button called unlink. Disconnect this table from the server. Where is the server? There is no server. Text file itself is the server. So if the data is coming from outside, then that color is what? Easily you can identify. This is data coming from external source. If the data is coming from internal source, it is actually blue color. Example, if you want to say an example, I will put an example. So I go to a new file, a new sheet. I am typing like this, okay? Same name, roll number, some name, M1, something like this. Okay? Only one row I type. So roll number is 1, name is A, mark is 43. So if I press Ctrl T, it becomes a table. Okay, I think I have pressed T there. So it becomes a table. If I press OK, which color it comes? Blue color. Because the table is, data is inside, table is inside, blue color. Data is coming from outside, green color. So my data table is coming from outside. So 1/7/2017 something happened. GST introduced. What is the difference between VAT and GST? VAT is source based taxation. GST is destination based taxation. India has turned from VAT to GST. Likewise, Excel has turned from source based reporting to destination based reporting. Excel has also moved from VAT to GST. That is the first revolution. That is the first revolution. For example, friends, let me go to this place. This is the loan data. If I go to table design, my name of the table, let me try to zoom it. Okay. Vinod Kodar sir also was telling this. Okay. What is the name of the table? Loans. Now friends, I am writing the latest formula today. Instead of going to here, I am typing like this. So please see here friends, I am typing like this, equal to loans. If I press enter, what happens? The entire table comes as what? Entire table comes as an array. Entire table comes as an array, a dynamic array. Now friends, I am going to type like this. One formula. See, only the first cell is containing the formula. Okay. Let us say equal to unique of new formula. Okay. So unique of loans table. If I say square bracket, let me try to zoom it. So where I am selecting, I don't even know about the formula, column number, sir, column number la potu irundha paru. You don't want to use it. Okay. So I am going to select who are all the customer names. Okay. So what are the unique customer IDs? Let us take the customer number. So I want to get the unique of loans table customer numbers. Once I press enter, I want to close this bracket, right? square bracket. So now once I press enter friends, I am getting what? All the customer numbers as a formula. Whenever that data is updated, here it is updated. I never go to the data again friends. Filtering, ellame not source based. We are ordering using Zomato. We are getting the food here. We never go to the hotel again. Same thing happens in Excel. All the reports, wherever I want here. Now, please see the formula. Let me give one formula. Because of this dynamic array, what happened? Every formula becomes an array formula. So, example, I'll say equal to sum itself. I want to find out what is the outstanding of every customer number. Okay? I am writing this formula sum is what I want to sum. Loans table outstanding. So I hope so the name is outstanding. Yes. So loans table outstanding only I want to add. What is my criteria friends? My criteria is loans table. Loans table customer number.
Equal.
Not equal to sir, nothing. So please see that. Loans table customer number. Where is my criteria friends? See the power of this. I don't use F4 key. Instead of F4 key, nearby F4 key, there is another symbol. F4 is for what? Dollar. But before dollar, now it is what? Hash. See the difference. Dollar is called hash. So I am using the hash. So wherever the customer number is this hash, I want to calculate. If you are doing this friends, you are in there 2019. 19, okay. So once I press enter, what happens friends? No copy paste, no control shift down arrow, nothing. Once I press enter, I am getting the answer. Okay. One formula calculating every customer. When the underlying data is changed, here what is changed? Everything is changed. Okay. So what is the first revolution friends? Dynamic array. Features are converted to functions. Features are converted to functions. All the features, மேல என்னென்ன பட்டன்லாம் இருக்கோ அதுக்கெல்லாம் இப்ப ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்கு. Remove duplicates are unique. Filter, sort, எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்கு. ஃபங்க்ஷனை யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கோ. Don't use the button. If you are using button, you are in which year? 2000. Never go to control shift L, never go to the button because you are going to the sources. Still you are in VAT. Come to GST. Wherever I want the report. Okay? For example, I want to filter all the customer accounts where the outstanding balance is more than 10 lakhs. Write a formula plus. Let us write the formula. Okay? So I want to filter all the customer accounts where the loan amount is more than, outstanding is more than 10 lakhs. Okay? So I am going to say this is 10 lakhs. I am writing this formula equal to filter. So filter what? Filter the loans account, customer number, where I want to say loans table, loans table outstanding. Okay? So loans table outstanding, if it is greater than or equal to this 10 lakhs. Okay? That's all friends. All the customer numbers are listed which are greater than 10 lakhs. Okay? So anyway, already time is out. 5:30 la தாண்டி போயிட்டு இருக்குது. So we have to stop somewhere.
Sir, you mentioned that the delimiting and all converting the text file to Excel.
Power query, sir. Power query, sir. Power query.
Sir, dashboard, how can we create dashboard from here? In the morning we have created a dashboard.
Can create superb dashboard, man. You should not use Power Query. You should not use this formula. Instead of that, use what? Power Pivot.
Power pivot.
See, steering, Power Steering. Windows, Power Windows. Brake, Power Brake. Likewise, Query, Power Query. Pivot, Power Pivot. Automate, Power Automate. And then what? Apps, Power Apps. 5 products they have released. BI, Power BI. ஸோ நீங்கள் இன்னும் பழைய காலத்தில் இருக்கீங்கன்னா இந்த query இதில் இருக்கீங்கன்னு அர்த்தம். ஓகே, ப்ளீஸ் கம் டு வாட். நாங்கள்லாம் எப்போவோ புது காருக்கு வந்தாச்சு. நீங்கள் இன்னும் அந்த ஸ்டேரிங்கை தான் ஓட்டுவேன்னா உங்களை ஒன்றும் செய்ய முடியாது. தட்ஸ் வாட் ஸ்டில் யூ ஆர் யூசிங் pivot only-னா நம்மளை என்ன செய்யறது? Oh my God. Okay, so there is one wonderful button here. Please see this. Hope you may be having this. Okay, power pivot. இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு இல்லையே பாஸ், இதெல்லாம் எங்க இருக்குன்னே தெரியலையே அப்படின்னு இருந்தா ரொம்ப கஷ்டம், ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். அதான் நான் என்ன சொல்றேன், எவ்ரி சார்ட்டர்ட் அக்கௌண்டன்ஸ் ஆஃபீஸ் must be having, every chartered accountant must be having 4 days training. This our institute should have. இருக்கு, நீங்க தான் பார்க்கலாம், எல்லாத்துலயும் இருக்குது. You have to see it. Okay, so I hope I have made some points. எனக்கு இன்னும் வந்து திருப்தியே இல்லை, நிறைய இன்னும் உள்ளே நுழையல, பட் இருந்தாலும் டைம் நமக்கு இல்லை. ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரெவல்யூஷன் that I was talking about is what? Dynamic array. Second revolution, let the user be developers. Excel has done now. Excel has made it like this. Let the user be developers. If you can create a formula, create a formula. நீயே பண்ணிக்கப்பா. Using 2 formulas, let and lambda. என்ன ஃபங்க்ஷன்ல? Let and lambda. இந்த ரெண்டு ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்குது. இதை வச்சு கதை சொல்றான் பாஸ். சான்ஸ் இல்லை. ஒரு யூடியூப்லலாம் சொல்றாங்க பாருங்க, கம்ப்யூட்டர் கதைலாம் சொல்றான் சார். இந்த ரெண்டு ஃபங்க்ஷன் தான் சார். These 2 functions. Let lambda. Let lambda. Let me try to at least show you, okay, what is let. So please see this. So example I'll say like this. Okay, இந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஃபார்முலா எழுதிருக்கீங்களான்னு பாருங்க. So equal to let A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. What is A plus B? If I press enter, what will happen? சரிங்களா? So if I press enter, what will happen? 30 will come, because I have assigned the value A to 10, B to 20. What is A plus B? Can I write A square plus B square plus 2AB? Yes, you can write whatever it is. So you are writing a program inside a formula. How many of you are feeling like this? Let me ask you. I am writing a complicated formula. After 1 month, if I am seeing my own formula, I can't understand my own formula. How many of you are feeling like this? That kind of thing is solved. Okay? Fundamental solution for the problem. Whatever we are having as a problem, friends, everything was solved. Everything was solved in Excel. If you are not using it, that is your problem.
So VLOOKUP formulas and all has been the same thing than what we were using earlier, or it has now been changed?
Changed, sir. VLOOKUP we don't use. Instead of that we are using XLOOKUP. People are saying, okay. Anyway, so that's why I am saying we need to go for what? A training which is a rigorous training with a commitment. You have to come with your system. You have to sit. அதுக்கெல்லாம் சாத்தியம் இருக்காங்கிறதே தெரியல, பட் ஆனால் இருக்கணும், வேறு வழி கிடையாது. அப்படின்னா தான் நீங்கள் வந்து இன்னைக்கு வரலாம், அட்லீஸ்ட் 2022 வரலாம். அதுக்கப்புறம் 2023, 2024 போகலாம். ஓகே, எனிவே, ஸோ செகண்ட் ரெவல்யூஷன் இஸ் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் வாட்? லெட் த யூசர் பி டெவலப்பர்ஸ். தேர்ட் ரெவல்யூஷன், நோ கோடிங், லோ கோடிங். No coding, low coding. So first revolution is dynamic array, second revolution is let lambda, third revolution is power query, power pivot. Okay, power query and power pivot, as you are saying, data visualization, dashboarding, slicing, whatever it is. Okay, so 5 operations can be done. What are the 5 operations? Pivoting, dicing, slicing, drilling down, rolling up. Like that I can say a lot of things. Okay, things are going on. So anyway, friends, within the time permissible limit, I have shared some of the points. See, before going for any other new tool, try to learn the existing tool first. கையில இருக்கிற டூலே ஒழுங்கா படிக்கணும். அப்புறம் என்ன சார் புது டூல்? இருக்கிற எக்ஸல் என்ன பண்ணுங்க, இருக்கிற எல்லா பட்டனும் உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா பாருங்க. All the buttons. Okay, so for example, let me say what if analysis, goal seeking, scenario manager, data table, what is data analysis add-in, what is a solver add-in. So like that you must be knowing each and every aspect of Excel first. Then only you can talk about anything else. Any other tool பத்தி நான் சொல்லி ஒரு பிரயோஜனம் கிடையாது. இருக்கிற டூல் நம்ம ஒழுங்கா பயன்படுத்தணும். Okay, that's right. Anyway, friends, I want to conclude this my course. At the same time, I want to conclude with the entire bank audit seminar also. But I want to conclude with one Tamil poem. I don't know how many people can't understand Tamil. Sorry for that. But if you don't know Tamil, please ask the people side by side. Okay? So this poem is a very famous poem. You may be knowing. It's very much related to our profession. That's why I'm going to say it. Okay? So it is actually being mentioned in Tiruvallur, that is Thiruvilayadal movie. You might be knowing about it. Okay? Nakkirar part. So the poem says like this, friends. It says like this. கொங்குதேர் வாழ்க்கை அஞ்சிரை தும்பி காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது மொழிமோ பயிலியது கெளிய நட்பின் மயிலியல் செறியேற்று அறிவை குந்தரி நரியவும் உள்ளதோ நீ அறியும் பூவே. This is the poem written by இறையனார். இறைவனே வந்து எழுதுன மாதிரி ஒரு ஐதீகம். Let us not go into that details. But the meaning of this poem really amazing. What is the poem, friends? The poem says, Kongu, see, we have to first of all translate Tamil to Tamil. Then we try to translate Tamil to English also. Okay. So what is this Konguder Valke? Konguder Valke means this bee, this particular bee, it is searching in every flower to find the finest honey. Kongu தேர்ந்தெடுத்து போமா. தேனை தேர்ந்தெடுத்து சாப்பிடுற ஆள்கள் எப்படி ஜாலியான ஆள்கள். Like Charles. I want to find out very good accounts. கொங்குதேர் வாழ்க்கை அஞ்சரை தும்பி அழகான சிறை கொண்ட தும்பியை வர்ணிக்கும் போதே ப்ரொஃபஷனல் அட்டையரோட இருக்கு. Because தும்பி is the audience. கொங்குதேர் வாழ்க்கை அஞ்சரை தும்பி. ஏன்னா it is seeing various flowers and finding various kind of honeys. Right? That's what this poet is writing. கொங்குதேர் வாழ்க்கை அஞ்சரை தும்பி. That's the next word is so important. That's what sir was telling. காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது முடியுமோ. எனக்கு உன்னை ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும், என்னையும் உனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும், அதுக்காக சொல்லாத. முகத்தை பார்த்து அக்கௌண்ட் சரியா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லாத. காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது முடியுமா. பார்க்கறத சொல்லு. எனக்கு பிடிக்குங்கிறதுக்காக சொல்லாத. நீ என்ன பார்த்தியோ சொல்லு. காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது முடியுமோ. அப்புறம் பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட்டோட எவ்வளவு அழகா இருக்கு பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்றாரு. What is the balance sheet? எப்படிலாம் அழகா இருக்குது. So many kinds of beauty. பயிலியது கெளிய நட்பின். பழகிறதுக்கு அவ்வளவு இனிமையா இருக்காங்க தலைவி. மயிலியல் செறியேற்று அறிவை குதிரை. மயிலியல் means what? Just like a peacock. So beautiful. மயிலியல் செறியேற்று. செறியேற்றுனா அர்த்தம் வரிசையான பல்வரிசை. அப்படி பல்ல பார்க்குற அப்படி வரிசையா இருக்கும். சூப்பரா. அந்த தலைவியோட கூந்தல் மாதிரி எங்கேயாவது நீ பூ பார்த்துக்கியா? Have you ever seen it? Like that he is asking. So, கொங்குதேர் வாழ்க்கை அஞ்சரை தும்பி காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது மொழிமோ பயிலியது கெளிய நட்பின் மயிலியல் செறியேற்று அறிவை கூந்தலில் நரியவும் உள்ளதோ நீ அறியும் பூவே. இந்த காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது மொழிமோ is actually equal to ethics of our charlatans. Don't see by whatever you will. Okay? So பார்க்கறதுக்கு நல்லா இருக்குல்ல, இந்த பேங்க் நல்லா என்னை ட்ரீட் பண்ணாங்க, இந்த மேனேஜருக்கு நோ நெவர் சே லைக் தட். பார்த்தத சொல்லுங்க, இறைவனே சொல்லுங்க. காமம் செப்பாது கண்டது முடியும். So that's what it is. And I want to conclude with this on Thirukural also, which says like this: குணம் நாடி குற்றமும் நாடி. That's why the குற்றமும் is like there's a woman. There's a woman. சேர் சொல்றாங்க. குணம் நாடு, ஆனா அதோட எதை நாடு? குற்றமும் நாடி அவற்றுள் மிகை நாடி மிக்க பழகம். ஆனா நம்ம என்னது அவற்றுள் மிகை நாடலாம் முடியாது, குற்றத்தை தான் சொல்ல முடியும். So that is the job given to us. So anyway friends, thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity for keeping being with you. Let us meet in another place, another time. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So anything you want to ask, you can ask. I will close this session. Yes sir.
Some sources you can quote.
Yes sir. Okay. So I have forgotten. Let me try to. Hope this program is somewhat useful. I hope so. So let us press enter and then see what is the answer. It is 30. So friends, I wanted to introduce my. See, let me talk about this also before going for the audit, friends. please go through our institute's. Our institute has given a wonderful material, right? How many of you have seen it? There's a wonderful material available, friends. Please try to see that. So, utility for bank branch audit 2024. How many of you downloaded it? Okay, I hope you are all having it. So, there are how many sheets? 37 sheets. மொத்தம் எத்தனை ஷீட் இருக்கு? 37 ஷீட். ஒவ்வொன்றும் மணிமணியாக இருக்குது. அதுக்கு வேற ஆணி வேற பார்த்த வேண்டியதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். சரிங்களா? ஸோ எப்போவுமே ஆரம்பிக்கிறது கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமாக இருக்கும். பட் ஒன்ஸ் யூ ஹவ் என்டர்ட் இட், இப்படி நோய்ங்க நம்மலாம் எதெல்லாம் முடிச்சாங்க, இன்ட்டு ஃபைனலாம் முடிச்சாங்க, அதெல்லாம் அந்த 37 ஷீட்லாம் வருதான், நாட் அ ப்ராப்ளம். ஓகே. So, but please go through that. 37 sheets, please go through. Our institute has given a wonderful template. What are things to be covered and all, please go through. And since this is the election period, election time or whatever it is, many central council members will also be doing what? Various kinds of Excel tools and templates. Try to use them also. Okay? Yes, sir?
Free, please.
Free of cost, we are having it. Try to make this up it. Like that. Right. So let me try to go to YouTube. So let me go to YouTube, friends. Where you search about this channel, I usually tell like this: like me, share me, comment me, subscribe me, bell icon. The anju solladavanga yaro adha parunga. That is my policy. Okay? My only policy is that. Okay? So this gentleman will never say this. 5 things he will never say. So Excel is fun. 3,500 videos of Excel you are having. If you have started seeing it today onwards, every day, every video, it will take 10 years. Don't do that. Okay? So instead of that, I am going to tell about the playlist. Some of the playlists you have to see. See, you can see that I have subscribed but not joined. The gentleman will never say what? Please join and all. So, let me try to do. One minute. Yes, this one. Okay. So this playlist is about advanced data analysis and business intelligence YouTube course. Power Query, Power Pivot, DAX, Encode, Power BI, Excel, 83 videos. Totally how many videos? 83 videos. Start seeing it per day, one video. It will take 3 months. After 3 months, you will see yourself like this. Yeah, give me data. Give me something. Okay, let me try to do it. Like that you will say. Anyway, so this particular gentleman will give you what? There is no fee, nothing. Okay, you can download it. Excel files will be given, PDF file is given. He is such a kind of a generous person like Wikipedia. So sharing the knowledge only. He will never say like me, share me, comment me. அந்த மாதிரி மக்கள்கிட்ட போய் பாருங்க. Content only he is saying that I know this, please learn this. That's all. And this person is I am a slow learner. So for me, he is giving in a slow phase. Suppose you want to make a SQL BA, there is another YouTube channel, and there is another channel guiding a cube also. That's all very fast. They will be very fast. So அதனால எனக்கு வந்து ஸ்லோவா படிக்கிறதுக்கும் சேனல் இருக்குது, ஃபாஸ்டா படிக்கிறதுக்கும் சேனல் இருக்குது. ஆனா எந்த சேனல்ல பார்த்தாலும் எதை பார்க்காதீங்க. Like me, share me, comment me, subscribe me. Forget about it and then see. Then you will see really important and wonderful content, friends. And even though I am having my own channel, I never say that. You try to search it and find it. So let me try to give this one. So my phone number, don't call me at night 1:30. Instead of that, you can send a message as sir was saying. I am confidently giving my number because I never take the call. So unless that number is stored in my phone, if it is coming from outside, I will never take it. Even if it is a client, even that client gives me 1 lakh rupees, I don't want. Like that, because let him introduce, I'll add the number and then let us start. Okay, that's the point. So next one is, you can send a message at least. Okay, and this and that. Otherwise, you can send a message also. So thank you for being with me, friends, today. Have a wonderful bank audit. Thank you.